Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just do to spoon you ain't know. The children crying for starvation, just do to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, do to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Fundraiser, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat keep my graduate, my brother, to spoon.
Definitely, folks, this is Spoon 107.5 FM. You're also listening to Fabric 101.1.
Yeah.
If you're listening to that particular frequency, and those of you listening to us on Super 95.5 FM, you're also welcome.
Rastafari.
And to everybody watching Spoon TV live, whether on YouTube or on Facebook, we'd love to welcome you to the first edition of Spoon Talk, Liberia's biggest talk show, the very first edition for the month of July. We want to wish you a happy new month to all those of you watching and listening across the world, including Liberia. The brand new month of July. And you welcome to Spoon Talk, here across the Spoon Network. My name is Diamond Slanger, and I'm producing, and I'm bringing on the former CEO, Mr. Stanton Alexander Witherspoon Sr., and the rest of the panelists are definitely going to join in later. Former CEO, good afternoon.
Diamond.
You muted.
Yeah, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Good. Try to not put myself in the orange Lone Star situation. Yeah. So what's going on?
A lot going on, you know, in the country. The Pape and Leo again. Go on. So, right now, we're in the hands of the State for Presidential Affairs.
You in who hands? Blambo?
Yeah.
You in Blambo hand?
Yeah. The interim, the acting Papa, you know, whilst Daddy is away. So the president has left for Israel on a 3-day visiting trip, a work trip to Israel, according to the executive mansion. He left today, and he took a 9-man delegation with him to Israel. So according to the executive mansion, the president is going to interact. He's going to have bilateral, meetings with the president of Israel, Mr. Isaac Herzog, and the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. So the president probably he's still en route to Israel, or he's making a layover somewhere, but he's going to Israel. Yeah. So that's the news. One of the most trending news here in the country. There are others, but before I go to the next news that I have, we are not so much a country of the sciences. We're still trying to encourage people to go into the field of science in Liberia, whether biology, chemistry, physics, or astronomy, or whatever sciences. We want people to be encouraged to go into sciences in Liberia. And we see a lot of incentives surrounding, those who want to study either medicine or anything that's got to do with the sciences in Liberia. And I was shocked that this graduation, the 103rd graduation of the University of Liberia, there was a low-key, man played. A very young lady, Deuce, the college there, the science college. Let me get the name of the college right. TGR Funkner Science College of the University of Liberia. She came up with magna cum laude. And I'm not hearing anybody, talking about her. And we see a lot of celebration ongoing in the country, but this young lady came up top, chemistry and biology. And we should be encouraging and celebrating her. So I thought it wise tonight to recognize Odell Yaman Kone. Congratulations to you for coming up as the Deuce of the TGR Functional Science College of the University of Liberia. The government should take key notice of her. She's currently working as an interim at the National Standards Lab at the Commerce Ministry. Somebody said that, look, this is somebody we need to celebrate, and I thought it's wise as well. We need to celebrate her. So, CEO, that's something we need to do in Liberia. We need to encourage
but
people.
Let me ask you a question, though. Where
Yeah.
is the science? Look, listen, I'm laughing because where is the science lab for the university?
Is that offender now? The one that is there. But we need to.
No. Don't skip it. Don't skip it.
Anything. Why am I skipping?
The one that is there is there. You don't mean that you're skipping something.
No, I'm not.
The science, the science lab, right? You cannot do science just to your base. It's impossible. The practical aspect, the clinical aspect. I mean, I'm happy. She deuced the class. I'm happy. She came on top. But damn it, there's more to it. I mean, there's no way.
That's a reason she's even worth celebrating even more, because in the absence of a top-notch lab, and you still able to study and pass and do best, and you do the school.
All right, so you want me to I would celebrate her. I would celebrate her.
Yeah,
but I'm not there. I'm not there. But
let's promote our own.
Dama. But something is missing, Dama. Something is missing. Trust me. Man, we suffer in our RN program at Jersey College. We suffer. I mean, they had the best, sophisticated, up to standard science lab, clinical lab. I'm telling you, Dama, we suffer, man. Make no mistake about it. For us to sit down and just think that we're going to just rob by way of opening the book and getting the understanding that, yes, John is a boy, but John had X, Y, and Z. It's all from lecture. No, the practical aspect, where they're going to send you to Veteran Hospital, the Cooper Hospital, to Lowe's Hospital. They're going to send you to these places for you to see clear. When we giving birth, it's not just by lecture. It's not by YouTube video. You will see operation. You will see the imaging, everything. And that's what is missing from our country today. So you will say, Fender, they are there. My brother, come on. It's more to it. Listen. I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her, right? Make no mistake. I am. But my experience, we started with 70 students. The woman who is in jail today, considered Gloria Musun's brother, Peter Musun, and I always say it. Now he's a doctor, very smart young man. We did our thing in there, my man. But from 70 students, we came down to 9. For you to make it among the 9 students, man. For you to make it among that 9, imagine 70. We came down to 9. All American white, American Hispanic, American African, American black, American white, American yellow, American blue. We paid $27,000 each. Our tuition. Then I'm telling you, almost 2 years, you must be a lesson practical nurse for you to go into the RN program. And maybe Gibson will understand what I'm saying from what he said, wherever in America. 5 days a week, going to school 7 a.m., leaving from there 5, 6 p.m. You got to cover 14, 15 chapters a day, different books. And not only that, you got to go to lab. You got to practice every day. You cannot miss hand washing, IV. You got to demonstrate. People that you don't know, American old man in Nigeria retired now, they're ready to kill. They're ready to cut. They will not even consider you. When you appear before them, you're scared. Damn, we went through it. That's why we came to being on the 9 student life. Among the 9 students, you come home, you can't even see your children. You can't see your wife. Nothing. You got to go back and study because they gave you work that you must do. And the next day is 14th chapter. The next day you're taking an exam. You must come up with 75 and above. All computer based, all practical. And we're going to sit here and think that it's all okay. When will that time come? Damn. Let's welcome Gibson to the show. Gibson, you are muted. I know we're going to have Madonna Cooper. Thank God for Madam Cooper coming on. Listen, I'm not angry or mad at this young lady. I'm happy. I will clap for her. But we can do more. I'm not saying this is about George Manor. We are government. It's the opposition. It's the imposition. It's the businessmen and women. We should do more. Come on. When those people leave Liberia, they come here, they fail in the basic exam. When they put them in the lab and say, show us what you know, they're confused. Man, listen, all the hospitals around here, I've been there. I did my clinical there. I work. And I must tell you, it's hard. Every day is new thing. Every day. It's not about passing pills, medication. No. But let me bring in Gibson. Gibson talk to us. You know, I like Dama, but you know, he said, I'm gonna clap for her. I will clap for the young lady. Congrats to her.
Clap for her because all of what you said, you're talking about in a society with the haves. And we in a society with the have-nots. And you are challenged to come up in that kind of environment where you lack the basic apparatus and everything that you need in the lab, and yet and still you're able to conquer and come up top. You worth celebrating and you worth investing in so that you can go out there and acquire more knowledge and skills and come and impact in the country. And we ourselves should also be looking at how do we improve our country as well, as we talked about the labs and all of these things, so that when we go out, we can be able to compete on par with our competitors and those who will meet in the classes. So, you know, I just brought it up because in this challenging country that we find ourselves, people such as
I know what you're saying. I must applaud her. Seriously, I do. But I just hate when people just put this on the government alone. Today, I would say it's not about Joey and his government alone. This is saying nothing we Charlie Kintan. This is saying nothing we Charlie Kintan. I do believe, Gibson, that opposition imposition shouldn't wait to get in power before they start investing in these things. I do believe it. I think we should rise to that place and say, yes, here we are. I can do it as a businessman. I can do it as a businesswoman. We would do this and be better. Whether President we choose not to do it, we should do it, Gibson. But talk to us. Welcome to the show while we wait for the others.
You know, Diamond, what you said, we all went through the same situation in Liberia. We know what it means for you to go to school and don't have a laboratory. You don't have all the materials that go for you to do your job. Unfortunately, it is still a problem that not just this government, past government, before this government, they are playing lip service to education, equipping education institutions. But talking about nursing, I know a girl who graduated from the TNIMA. She's a nurse here in Fargo right here. She can't even practice. She can't. I asked her, can you go and challenge the test so you can take the test? She's scared because she's not sure that she's going to pass. So she's going back to nursing school. Okay, so those are the problem when you are not prepared, when the country is not preparing its students. Then when you are half-baked educated, it becomes a problem. The output is not there, and then people, people don't do the right thing. So for someone, I don't know the individual you are talking about. I just came on and I heard it, but from what you and Stanton are saying, just reading between the lines, yeah, Stanton, you're right. It's not just the government. Every institution, like for example, if you find your place, business is very important. Involving yourself in activities, non-profit, profit business, commercial businesses, opposition figures investing into the citizen. So when you want to be president, they look at you and say, well, this man is already investing in the people. I think when he becomes president, he will do more. I think that is something that we need to work on. You know, I want to see companies have a company. I want to see Boakai have a company. I want to see Gonglo have a company. Maybe he has a law firm, but he should have maybe another company, another something that people can look at and say, but this man is an employer, you know. So it's just unfortunate that our system is still. Look, I'll give you one example. When I was managing editor for the Public Agenda newspaper, we put an announcement out for reporters. So I received like 15 applications, all of them senior students at the University of Liberia. So usually when you come for me to test you, I don't interview like the way the normal thing they do. I say, okay, I create an artificial story, for the artificial incident. Oh, John was walking on the street. He got hit by a vehicle. The vehicle went and killed a little girl in front, and it damaged a people's house, and all kind of story I put in there. I said, go and write the story. Because when you are from the university as a journalist, you should know what can be in the lead paragraph. And I tell you, it is always said that once there is death, it must be in the lead paragraph. One person died today and several people were injured as a result of a motor accident. People leave that out and start with the destruction of their house. It tells me something is wrong somewhere. And that's how some people are dropped from the interview. And so I'm aware of the situation. Being an employer in Liberia, I'm very, very aware. Even here, I'm employer of. So you see them, some of them, they say they are CNA. You employ them, they come, then they ask you what they should do. I don't get it. So I think we need to prepare our people.
I mean, at the end of the day, thank you, Gibson. We're going to celebrate her, Dama. We will. Beautiful thing. Thank God for her. We will celebrate her. If you want to bring her in the studio, that's fine. But we will call her name and celebrate her. But I'm so disappointed, so discouraged. And I hope that Liberians are listening. I'm going to have Madela Cooper here tonight to talk to us on the issue of everything plus more. Listen, let me say this before the rest of the guys jump in. Dr. Richardson is off. She's attending the CPP convention in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that likewise. But Fagon will be joining us. The counselor, Lamin Policy Pakor, probably going to join us.
Policy.
Lamin Policy Pakor.
Policy elevate.
No, they elevate at ANC. They elevate at ANC. Lamin the policy. When it comes to the policy, then they won't talk. But when it comes to Taiwan Gonglo refusing to be law-abiding citizen when it comes to National Election Commission laws and guidelines, and then they be quiet. You know, then you always find them to be quiet. It's this in general. It's just not good at all. If
let me
finish, Gibson.
You don't want to take the answer.
Yeah, then Gibson, let me finish. Then not a pedestrian argument. Then now they say, yeah, my man, that pedestrian argument, where you want proof. Then the people come and sue us. You're a lawyer, by the way. You're a counselor. You're right, Jay Franklin. They must say a pedestrian argument. You're a counselor, man. You know, Echo Chima, but they happen to celebrate their second place, though. They're saying that Echo Chima, oh Lord, have mercy. Man, my time, let me put that thing on, man. They are so sneaky. They want to celebrate that, yes, they had 11 votes into the pool we just had. They celebrate that neck to neck with Josh Mann we are. But they're saying, oh, that your echo chamber that I get. My man, y'all please don't call me. I'm baking you.
I didn't talk about echo chamber business. I didn't talk about echo. If I praise it.
Philomena, I'm on the show, Philomena. I would tell your sister to call you. But let me say that who coming on? Eremi Gray. Where Eremi coming from? Eremi Gray is in Philadelphia. He won't come on the show. Listen, let me bring him because I want to pick his bone small. Eremi.
My man, I was asking for your home last night. I was in Trenton. I just from Trenton.
No, you wasn't in Trenton.
I was in Trenton. Then I just left from Trenton. Then I was in last night, where did I go? My sister lived in a small Williamsboro or so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You having a feedback, or is that me?
Maybe that's me. I don't know.
You got something on?
Let me change the microphone.
Maybe you got audio.
Yeah, turn everything on and come back in, please. Yeah. So let me say this, Gibson. You guys just not being fair. I'm here chilling on a beautiful Saturday. And you know, I'm improving myself playing basketball. At least I can on a 5 shot, I'll make sure I get 3 or 4 correct. So I'm improving, but I'm discouraged. Yeah, I'm discouraged. Seriously. What you say,
What
Gibson?
discouraged you? Wait, what discouraged you really?
You guys lying, the Gonglo team lying to the Liberian people. I'm discouraged. I'm also discouraged that opposition. Let me finish. You asked me what discouraged me.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
And I was sitting on the show. Make no mistake. President George Manawia is not out of this election yet. People are going to say what they want to say. Make no mistake. What the in-house fighting we are seeing, we're going to discuss it. I'll wait for Madam Cooper to come in, join us. I think she's getting ready. Let's hear about Unity Party. The real Unity Party. And all my Unity Party folks out there, all my friends out there from Unity Party. I think you guys are now being complacent. And you got to win before you lead, Dama. If you guys try to lead right now without winning the election, George Manawia will win this election. And I got a message for you. I do. I got a message for you. We can laugh at Tewan Gonglo. We can say the worst about Mr. Cummings. But trust me, you got to strengthen your base. I'm so happy that Madara Cooper is coming on. And she's part of the rescue team. So I'm going to push her a little bit tonight. I'm going to push Madam Cooper tonight. Seriously. You got young lady.
Let me say something.
Let me end on this. Gibson, let me end on this. You got Yumli Kanga Lawrence, Senator for Green Bassa County. She's trying to rally the troop. And every day, every week, every second, every minute, I want to say something tonight that it may not be right, but I would say it because there's no time for folks to be sleeping. And everybody that find themselves sleeping, and you say you're on the train, you'll pass your destination, and there will be no coming back. Seriously, Gibson, talk to me.
I like that. Look, I would say 2 things. The first one, I would say, yeah, you are right to have issue with the Unity Party people. I think.
Leave my issue alone. Leave my issue alone. Talk about your issue.
I'm coming to the Boakai thing. I'm coming to the Gonglo thing. You know, I felt bad that Mr. VP Boakai voice or words have no traction in people who are representing the Unity Party in the House and in the Senate, to the point that they have a meeting and he told them not to vote for this, and they went ahead and voted. It shows that they don't even respect his words. They don't respect the party's words. His words are making no traction. I think we need to evaluate that very carefully, because if he's your political leader and you have a meeting and you agree in the meeting and he tells you, do not vote for this as our representative, as our senator, and you go and still vote, it means you don't believe in what he says. They don't believe in what he says. But let me come to the Gonglo thing. I think you've been talking about it for long, and we're trying to provide an answer, but it's not working. So here is the answer I'm going to give you. Senator, the law is clear that if any party does not reach the threshold, that party will be suspended. It's an action that will be taken by the commission. It is the commission prerogative to write the party and say, you did not meet the threshold at this point in time, and so you are suspended for 2 cycles of election. The party has not been written any letter. The party has not been told. The party has not been informed of anything like that. And we expect Councilor Gonglo, when he comes, he must go to NEC and say, NEC, are we suspended? Go to other people and say, are we suspended? That's not the way it works. The election commission has a responsibility. If the election commission does not do that, we are not going to go and be asking, like you in your classroom. They say, if your teacher don't do anything, your principal say, your teacher don't do this, he gave your report, the class will not come. And the teacher did not give report. but the principal allowed the class to sit. Then you come in the morning to, instead of you going to class, you go ask the principal, oh, can I go in the class to sit? Then my teacher may report. No, go to class and sit. If there's an issue, the party will be written. Up to now,
so
the party has been written.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. And thank God you and myself on this. We'll do it quietly before the other people come. You're a reasonable man. You guys are presenting Councillor Tewon Say Gonglo as an agent of change, transparency, clean hands. Okay? You guys are presenting, oh my God, Councillor Policy is in the house. You guys are presenting Tewon Say Gonglo as that agent. The reason why I cannot leave this conversation, must the National Election Commission call your party stand-up bearer, or as an agent of change and transparency, and law-abiding candidate, why can't he make that correction and say, no, according to the National Election Commission guidelines and policy and law, we cannot feed a candidate under this name. Why should he wait for the National Election Commission to get to him first?
Oh, but that's the right thing to do. In law, in legal issue, you wait for the legal.
No. He's a lawyer. It's there. It's in the law. It's in the guidelines. It's part of the policy. You know that, right?
It's the policy, it's a law.
Yeah, but
it's a law.
I want to put everything together. But we know that it is there. Okay. You saw it. You read it. My question to you, Gibson, it's not to the councillor, but to you. If it is true, why he should be a lawbreaker waiting for the entity to reach out to him first?
No, the man not waiting for law breaking. You're not waiting for entity. The entity has a responsibility.
It is true. I said
the entity has a responsibility.
Brother, let's take it step by step. We're not bringing the council.
No, that's step by step. Doing it today. You understand it today.
Yeah. That you and myself be fair with the Liberian people.
I will.
It is true.
And when you are saying something that makes sense, you must agree to. Right? Anything I say makes sense to you. I say, yeah, Gibson, you're right here.
Oh yeah, if you're saying the truth, I would say yes.
Okay.
Certainly. Because I see Madam Cooper is in the back. Once she's settled, we'll bring her in. Let's do this real quick.
Okay.
If it is true that he's a law-abiding citizen, a law-abiding candidate, Tewon Say Gonglo, right? LPP, political leader. They came out with 0.78% of the vote. Why he can point that out and say, my fellow Liberians, because we are law-abiding party, we will not wait for them to get to us. We'll set the example now. Why are you waiting for National Election Commission to come to him?
Okay, let me answer that. Is when Jesus was dealing with follow those days, they use question for answer. So let's take your radio station, for example. There is an anti-media law that passed. There's an anti-media law that passed that say if any media institution called the president stupid, the media institution will be closed down. The Minister of Information will close the institution down. One of your reporters appeared on the air and called the president stupid. The Minister of Information did not write you to say your institution will be suspended from broadcasting. So you go through in the morning, you close your institution down and say, we'll not broadcast again because we won't be law-abiding, even though they did not write you. Is that how we do it? The law, we have to follow what is right. The Election Commission has a responsibility. We all do not know what consideration the Election Commission had for which they have not taken the action. It is your duty as a media people to call the Election Commission and say why you didn't take the action. That's not us. We can go close our institution down because somebody was able to do something. We don't know the intricacies. We don't know what happened. We don't know why the Election Commission decided to defer the action. But so we cannot. It doesn't make us lawbreakers. It doesn't make anybody lawbreakers.
Gibson. Can we be more clear here, please?
Yes.
If we put everything on President Weah and all his entity, all the ministry here and there, but come to realize that we can make the correction ourselves. Why should we wait for NEC, my brother? All the other story is saying there's something on the book. Madam Cooper is ready. Whenever I want us to have the conversation, and I think we must have this conversation, but I hate to keep her waiting. Madam Cooper is ready. Madam Cooper is ready, so I will bring her on. I will bring her on because it's important. I got to bring Madam Cooper on, sir.
No. Madam Cooper wasn't
No,
ready
you
until
will not
I got ready
interrupt.
to be to talk about the
You will not
matter.
interrupt the show. You will not interrupt the show today. I got to bring
Man, why
Madam
did you
Cooper
put
on.
this genius here?
I got to bring
Yeah,
Madam Cooper on. So stop interrupting, please. Let me bring Madam
seriously,
Cooper on, please. So
seriously.
Madam Cooper, welcome to the Spoon Talk. It's good to have you as always. Thank God you came because I'm tired dealing with the two Gonglo boys, men, and there you go. They're ready to attack me again. But I would do it. I would go under the skin. I would go under the skin every day, and I know how to do it. But welcome to the Spoon Talk, Madam Cooper. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much. It's good to be here with you as usual, Stanton, and I look forward to this fruitful dialogue.
Thank you very much. We'll be joined by Aaron Great. I saw it in the back. He will be coming back
You
joining
know,
us.
I like your voice already.
Today,
I like your voice. Your voice
Eugene
is dope.
Lame Fagon will be joining us. Dr. Richardson is off today because she's attending that CPP convention in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's good to have you. I believe Mo Ali probably he's going to join us. But let's talk. We understand that you are still in Liberia. And I know we'll talk about this to satisfy my brother, Councilor Lamy. We'll go back to Taiwan issue. He will say what he have to say. But let me just talk about why you're here tonight on this program. Because it was just impromptu.
Right.
There you go, you are. Why are you here tonight before we talk about any other issue?
Well, besides your show being one of my favorite shows, I'm here to really to talk about the upcoming event we have tomorrow. The rescue team is hosting a series of events to raise funds to deploy workers and poll watchers, and also make sure we can put in the right security measures because we know we have a lot of
Yes, you can hear me?
stake here
Or is that
for the
okay?
all of the concerns, and so we're going to put the right measures in place so we're not crying foul at the end of the day, but we're putting the right measures in place. So we do have a big fundraiser coming up tomorrow, July 2nd, and we'll dive more into it as we go along.
Yeah, thank you very much. If you have the flyer, can you please resend the flyer? Let's just your program for the more. And we will post the flyer and also want to know more about that program. But the fundraiser, before we get there though, I'm understanding that you guys
Absolutely.
at the Farmington Hotel right now, correct?
That's correct. Yes. That's
In honor
correct.
of who? Is that the Senator Yomdi Kanga birthday program?
That's right. So the senator's birthday was coming up, and we needed to celebrate our rescue mother. We tried to raise some funds on her birthday, and all of the proceeds from the fundraiser will go to supporting the poll workers and poll watchers on election day.
All right, before I bring in Gibson and Councillor, Madam Cooper, what's going on with Unity Party at this time? Because I say Unity Party in the broad sense, because you are supporting Jose Yima Boakai, you are supporting Jeremiah Kuhn, you're working toe to toe, hand in hand with Madam Yombi Kanga Lawrence. Your support now also lean towards the party, Unity Party. What's going on with Unity Party, or what's going on with Unity Party and the Jose Yima Boakai team? Is there a disconnect?
Well, we are all there are several different parties, including Unity Party, which is the party that produced the candidate. You have MDR, the have Liberty Party under the leadership Yamini Kanga Lawrence, Senator Yamini Kanga Lawrence, and then you have the Movement for Liberia, which is under my leadership. So we're all working together under the team, the team of rescue, the rescue team, the rescue mission. But when you ask about, I think your question was about liberty. Was it liberty or unity? Sorry.
I'm talking about the Unity Party. Is there any disconnect? The Unity Party and the JMB team, which include the rescue team under Madame Yombli Kanga Lawrence.
Yeah, Well, look, we don't look at parties at the moment. We are here to get Joseph Yima Boakai and Jeremiah Bankun elected as the next president and vice president of the Republic of Liberia. So we don't really engage into, party politics. We just focus on the mission on hand, which is really and his
You're
failed
having you're
administration. We
having
want to say
technical
goodbye to
problem,
that.
though. We are having technical problem, Madam
Yeah,
Cooper.
I'm not
Is that your location?
right. I'm not sure what's happening with that.
Uh,
Um,
okay,
it's
we're gonna
LIB
try.
now.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna try. Let me
Okay.
bring in. Yeah, I know you want to continue. Let me bring in Gibson. Gibson, let's talk to Madam Cooper, and then we'll go to Councillor Lamé. Bakor. Can you unmute Gibson?
Yes, I am. First of all, you are most welcome, and I already said I love your voice. Yeah, you got a very nice talking voice. So here is the thing. I listened to you when you were speaking on one of your awareness programs. I can say campaign is not open. You
Right.
talk about, and I really enjoy you, and I was sharing it with my wife because I believe in women empowerment. You were talking about new innovation, new ideas, putting Liberia first and making Liberia a new place for everybody to benefit. Do you
Right.
really think Joseph Boakai will have new ideas? You join behind Joseph Boakai, you have all the good ideas. You think Joseph Boakai has new ideas to offer in a new dispensation?
That's a great
No,
question,
I mean,
Gibson.
yeah.
That's a wonderful question. Again, we're having some difficulties with the internet, but you guys just bear with us. If it's getting too bad, then I may have to jump off. But no, that's a wonderful question. Here's the thing. In elections, you have to look at a series of things before you make your decision, right, as to where you're going. And as I said on this show, and I think Stanton can verify this, but we look at the nation, the country, where it's going, what the people, the voters are thinking about. And the voters absolutely want Joseph Yuma Boakai to be the next president of this country. And it's up to us, all of the other candidates on the list of candidates or aspirants, because now people are actually they're going from aspirants to candidates because you go through the nomination process
Correct.
of the election commission. And when we did a national survey, the survey yielded to Joseph Yima Boakai having a greater possibility of being the next president. Now, it would take people like myself, people like Jeremiah Coon, Senator Lawrence, and all of the other incredible people who have been and joined forces together to say, you know what, we respect the will of the people, and this is who the people have said they want. We can never look, this is all about the will of the people, which is converted into a currency of they give you their will, go to the ballot boxes, vote for you, give you their will, which is then converted into you using your political will to create a nation for the people. So the people are not going to go to the polls to vote for Alexander Cummings. They're not going to go to the polls to vote for Broom 1 and Broom 2. They're not going to go to the polls to vote for George Weah. We have got to come to the reality that Joseph Yema Boakai is is a choice of the voters in this election. And so no need to really think about his ideas. Does he have innovation? He has what? Look, I sang a song in district number 13 the other day, Gibson. I want to share that song with you. And because this is really what this election means to me. And that song goes, I'd rather have Boakai than we are stolen all the silver and gold. That is an old hymnal. And I'd much rather have a Joseph Yima Boakai than the failed way administration that is destroying every fabric of our nation today.
Okay, Gibson, your second question, because it moving me to come in somehow. But Gibson, that's son. Okay, Gibson, your second question. let me. You are muted, Gibson.
I can let you come in if you want to come in between there, and then I can come back. I don't mind.
No, yeah, let me come in though. I mean, you're making this case for Joseph Yima Boakai, and there's a disconnect. There's an opposition group. I know everybody gonna protect their own zone, like you are doing right now. But can you say this to those other like Remy Grade from Comis Camp? Can you say this to Councillor Lamin from the Gonglo Camp? That probably the candidate from the opposition stand a chance? Are you saying that no one in the opposition stand any chance whatsoever? Only Joseph Yima Boakai?
Joseph Boakai is it. Joseph Boakai is giving. Look, when you go into these elections, especially someone like me, you first suggest yourself, say, look, I'm here. I would like to be a president. And then if you're serious about this, you go ahead and spend some good money in trying to understand the pulse of the people. In technology, we say algorithms. Where are the algorithms? You know, when you watch something over and over, or you see you watch several videos, your algorithms start going towards your interest and they start advertising towards you. Now, when you do this thing called the POS, the public opinion surveys, the public opinion surveys have clearly across the board. You list all of the candidates, you go out and ask the people, what's your opinion? Who will you vote for? You have got to spend and invest some money in knowing where the people are with regards to who you, or what your candidacy is, or whether or not they will vote for you or not. And every survey we've done has come back to the same, has yielded to the same results. Joseph Yema Boakai has always been on the top of these surveys across the country. And we've done it for other, district level candidates. We've done it for.
I beg you, Gibson, let me hold Madam Cooper there. I spoke to someone from Maryland. I spoke to someone from Grand Cape Mount. Indeed, the people want to vote for Joseph Yema Boakai. Indeed, he's running. He's the top when it comes to the opposition. But logistics, money, advertisement, you guys don't have it. The people now begin to complain. Where is Joseph Yema Boakai team? We are seeing CDC on bicycle. We are seeing CDC on motorbike, on Pempe, on Keke. We are seeing CDC in the community. But Joseph Yema Boakai people, they are so complacent. They say, yes, we will win because the name Joseph Yema Boakai. What say you?
The people have already decided. And one thing about the Liberian people, once they decide, they're done. You don't have to keep coming to knock on their doors. They have made up their minds. Now, you're absolutely right. We do need to work. We should not be complicit. We have to do a lot of work. We have to go into communities. We have to continue to engage the citizens and the voters. But I will tell you this much. Don't be fooled by all of the money that CDC is paying to make themselves look good. The Liberian people hate them and don't want them. And so now the same CDC that used to just play music box in the headquarters and the people be jam-packed. You can't even cross the road. Your car can't be passed. Today, CDC having parties. Just last night, they had a burial or something. They had a casket on a stage. Maybe they were having a wake and the music was on until 5, 6 o'clock this morning. The yard was empty. The yard was completely empty. So they need to, now CDC is paying people money to come to their events. We were in district number 5 last night, and a CDC candidate in district number 5 was parading the street. And you see 4, 5, 6 people behind there making noise. And look at CDC candidate. CDC candidate used to be making noise around here, truckloads of people, paying their own way to come. Today, CDC is paying people to come to their rallies. So don't look. We got a lot of work to do. We have a lot of advertisements to put out, media to buy, funds to raise, security to put around, make sure we protect the polls because we already got intelligence that they're going to try to rig this election. And we know all of that. So we're going to work extra hard. We're not going to become complicit to allow CDC to try to steal this election because it will be the greatest atrocity or tragedy, not atrocity, tragedy in our country. Another 6 years of this failed administration with Wea and his incompetent bunch, it's going to be a disaster for our country. So we don't want that. So we're definitely going to work hard.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gibson.
Okay, so,
Jerry?
Magdala, let me be honest, I respect you a lot. Having listened to you 3 times, I play your video at the Grand Jury Convention, and I finished it up. But
wow.
I want to say this, it will be followed by a question.
Right.
I think your decision to join Boakai, in the future, you will realize it's a mistake. Because the people you join, you don't even have a coalition yet. It's just a collaboration. You're just working together.
Alliance.
I think you don't believe that Boakai is of the kind of person you are. an innovator as you are, a person who thinks better for the country, who put in place ideas that other people can learn from.
Right.
I don't think you believe that Joseph Boakai has that, do you?
He's the best choice. He's the best choice, and he's the choice of the people.
I know he's the best choice, but do you believe in his ideas? Not just because he's able to win, but do you really believe in his ideas?
What particular idea you're referring to?
The ideas I'm talking about,
right?
Being popular in our popularity, then will not have problem with George Weah, because George Weah is one of the most popular men in Liberia today, and because of the population, he was elected. And everybody said he's popular, so let's elect George Weah. Now we see what will happen on our hands. So you follow the crowd just because the person is electable, and you now evaluate.
The question is, what are some of the ideas you are talking about?
Please don't go there, man. I got plenty here. I won't go there. I just want ice cream. I just want ice cream. I want to say something they say. So I just want to know the way the decision that Joe Boakai made that destroyed the CPP, his inability to work to harness the CPP to the point that he was the instigator of another CPP candidate or aspirant going to court. These are many, many things that we can sit there and talk, and I don't want people to say I'm trying to pick at you. I'm trying to understand your psyche, that you will follow Mr. Boakai just because he's popular.
Well, look,
this man does not. Okay.
Although Joseph Boakai is a candidate, you have to understand when we go to these rescue team meetings, you have some of the most qualified individuals in the room. You have some of the most amazing people in the room. Now, the former vice president and our candidate for this election, 2023 election, who just became a candidate yesterday, he has an agenda for Liberia. Remember when Joey and Kinza and they brought their agenda for Liberia.
Is she back? All right.
I think she's frozen. Okay, she's back.
Yeah, we good. Yes, you're back. Go ahead, Mama.
Okay, so they listed a series of problems and it offers zero results to how they're going to solve any of those problems. So their idea was to alleviate poverty. And I think it was a few weeks ago, where there's a joke was started by alleviated 27 million, people. And so I will tell you this much, and I will tell you this for free. We were in a meeting, a rescue missions meeting, and the former vice president and our candidate, Joseph Boakai, who we call JNB, he talked about his agenda for Liberia. And I will share with you some of the things he listed on his agenda. He talked.
Wow.
Besides the popularity, besides somebody is messing with this internet because they don't want me to say what I need to say on here. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you now. Yes, we are hearing you.
Okay, so he talked about the economy. He talked about employment. He talked about education, and he talked about the need for vocational. He went further to talk about justice, the need for good governance. He identified the need for decentralization of government to give a leadership within certain jurisdiction across the country the power to establish smaller branches of government across. So Joseph Boakai talked about healthcare. They need to revamp Liberia's healthcare system. And he also went further and dived into the concept of insurance. How can we build something around Liberians having medical insurance so that when they do enter the hospital, even if they don't have all of the money on them, they should be seen by doctors because they will enter those hospitals with an insurance card. These are the things that JNB, the rescue one, is talking about in all of these meetings. So maybe you don't have access to hear him speak about his interest in Liberia, his agenda for Liberia, but these are things that were on my manifesto as well. And it wasn't a private meeting where he maybe read my manifesto and was trying to impress me and read that. Because one, I believe that Liberia's economy can be built by diversifying our economy, bringing in investors. We can create jobs and put money in Liberians' pockets. So he has a plan for Liberia, and I agree with those plans. Maybe he hasn't talked about the innovation in technology and how we're going to advance technology, but he is talking about the key things, which is healthcare, education, the economy, job creation, decentralization. So he is talking about the meat, the things that are going to change our country for the better.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's bring in Councillor Lamain Kwakol. Come in, my brother.
Well, it's kind of disappointing that Madam Cooper will come back today and still not be prepared to say why she's decided to support the Unity Party. Because I remember the last time of, I think 2-3 weeks ago when she was here, she was talking about plenty of people supporting Mr. Boakai, so she's supporting him. I mean, I found that as pedestrian, and I don't think it was necessary to as a leader. I mean, there is a signboard on the boulevard that says political leader on Madam Cooper's picture. So to be a leader, it puts you in a different class. It's not follow what other people say or follow what the group say. It's not a group mentality thing. It's a thing about knowing what's best and trying to drive the public into understanding those things. So let's just do a little hypothetical game, Ms. Cooper. If that survey you say you did, if I have found that Mr. Weah was being supported by most people, will you be running on the Weah bandwagon again?
That's a question, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Well, after Mr. Weah's performance in the political leadership game, he has failed massively. He has failed our country beyond anyone's expectation, not even the kid on the street. So even if the masses were following Weah, I wouldn't, because unfortunately, Weah has failed massively. Now you're talking about someone who comes from a former leadership government, and it did well for our country. Whether you hate Ellen or not, or you love her, look, I would take Ellen's 12 years over Weah's 1 year.
Wow.
Weah's first year was a disaster. He came in 3 months. He stole so much money from the country, enriched himself, and became, according to the look. There's some great people in CDC. There's some wonderful, and like one other politician who I will leave unnamed said there's some fine people in CDC, but there's some people who are just bunch of, I can't even say the word. They started to label Weah as the richest president in Africa after he stole all of our country's money. And so you're asking me if people support that man, I will go run behind him too? No, not after such a massive failure.
I'm using your own
There's
logic.
no way.
I'm using your own logic. Madam Cooper, I'm using your own logic. Your logic is that you're supporting this other candidate because a lot of people told you they're supporting him. So the hypothetical was, will you be supporting Mr. Weah if your survey,
you're not run campaign before?
Your own logic I'm using.
Councillor, you not run campaign before. Campaign is all about elections, about numbers. Yeah, let me tell you something. Maybe you run election before. It's elections is about numbers. So if you cannot win the votes, you will never become a president and change the country.
So you basically saying that, but in one hand you say, I mean, if the people have said Mr. Weah is the person they want, you're not supporting because he's a thief and blah blah blah. But you are supporting another person purely because the people say that what the person they want. You know, the thing is that you had enough time. From the last time you were here up to now, you had enough time to formulate your ideas about why you're supporting Mr.
No.
Boakai.
You want me to have your ideas, and I'm an independent citizen. I have the right to my ideas. You want me to say something that will appease you, but I'm not on the show to appease you.
Councillor, hold on 1 minute.
I'm not here to appease you. I'm here to speak my ideas.
No, I don't support him. So why would I want you to have
Councillor Kwakol. Councillor Kwakol. when she's speaking, we are still with you. We are not many. We'll give you enough time. Let us finish, and you can come in. Okay. So you can ask your question and give her a chance to answer.
Okay. So what's the major, even though you've not said anything about policy that drove you to the Unity Party, to Mr. Boakai's campaign, what's the most important thing you think that has to happen to take this country from where it is, from the hole that it's in, to a better place? In your own view, I mean, you as an individual, what do you think has to change in order for this country to make progress?
My man, you want to put in the classroom, if you think be hearing your own self voice, you can listen to what people say. Me, I guess if you talking about the policy the man was talking about in the room there, what they meant
No,
talk
no,
about the
I said
economy.
what
They meant talk
you
about this.
think.
No,
I
let me
didn't
finish.
say
Let me
what you
finish.
that's why I said
Counselor,
Let she
counselor,
finish, Counselor. Let she
counselor.
finish,
Let me finish
please.
now. You asked me a question
yeah,
because apparently you were not listening to me when I was talking, so I will talk in the library English. You can hear me good. Because me and Gibson were talking just now. We're talking
yeah.
just now. The man said, what drove you to Boakai? I told you, so I was in meeting with Boakai. I wrote my notes down. Boakai was talking about the economy.
I
The one
asked.
that can bring money to the country to create jobs for the people then. Two, Boakai was talking about employment, to create jobs so like people can, like, especially our fathers and our brothers. Then when men are not working, they're complacent. They're complacent. And we're talking about someone who wants to create jobs for our people. But my man, you're talking, I can hear your mic mute.
It's okay. We gotta have some order. We will wait when you finish. We'll go back to Councillor Paco for his question continuation. So finish giving that first answer, Madam Cooper, please.
Yeah, counselor, I talked about what validated my urgency to support Boakai. Number one, Boakai is the leading candidate in the opposition, and two, Boakai has an agenda. JNB has an agenda for Liberia. JNB is going to be a unifier for our nation. Okay, he's a person who, when you walk in a room, no matter who you are, whether you're educated or whether you have a degree or you don't, Boakai welcomes you into the room and makes everyone feel comfortable. And he respects talents and individual talents. And with such an agenda of decentralization of government, the problems with youth and drugs, the issues with education and healthcare, his desire to want to see, these are things that Gibson and I were just talking about, but maybe you didn't hear me because you were contemplating on what question you are going to ask me and how much you hate me, and so you want to show your intelligence. But I think we share that in common. I have a super intelligence, so your question to demean me, it would never get far. So if you listen to me, I'll listen to you, my brother.
Thank you very much. Let's bring in Councillor Paco. Councillor, please continue.
No, so the question I just asked you is different from what you were discussing with Jeru. You said you heard Mr. Boakai talk a certain thing in a meeting. That's not what I asked. I
Agenda.
asked, what do you think, you as a political leader, what do you think has to change in order for this country to move forward? That's the question I asked you. And I'm not
We
going to do with the
need an
question
economy.
what you said
Constable, we
to
need an economy. And Boakai is what his top agenda is to create an economy that will bring jobs to our people. How hard is that to understand? You have a job, I'm sure, but there are hundreds, if not thousands, or millions of Liberians who are out of job. And people in the diaspora have to send resources to Liberia so that people can feed their families, pay school fees, and go to hospitals. Now, private citizens shouldn't have that responsibility if we have a president that understand, number one, what it means to govern this nation, what it means to create an economy, and what it means to invite investors and remove the red tapes in doing business in Liberia. That is what we're talking about. We're not talking about Boakai Dancer president. We're not talking about a president who don't understand what it means to be president. Look, maybe you're a job we have fan. I won't kind of embarrass your man to now on this show yet. So don't maybe talk plenty to you, boy.
They'll bring in Ed Remy Gray. Thank you, Councillor. Councillor, Mr. Gray. Ed Remy?
Do I still have feedback?
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Okay.
Talk to us.
All right, Madam Cooper, hi.
Hi, Rev. How are you?
I'm great. I noticed you doing Mr. Gibson's question an injustice. You scapegoating. And it's a brilliant question for the fact that he came out to say, if the majority say this is who they want, where do you cross your own judgment, individual judgment as a leader, that completely repatriate itself from what the people want? Because you're a leader, you have to be able to see certain qualities that that will gravitate you towards a particular individual. I think that's where his question was going. But you talked also about unity. The unity party is all but unified. We know how certain individuals there got expelled from the party, and we know they're struggling to even hold together. This is why they're sluggish at raising funds. So if a man is coming to be your savior, bringing all the money, and they can't even help themselves to raise money to endear their own campaign, it just tells you how your tomorrow will look like. Like, bro, we pour out because the chief of state may not have the ability to even raise funds. And anybody who leads Liberia should have that skill. I want you to address that issue about that unity properly. I don't think Boakai is a unifier. I think he's a divisive man, a guy who peddles division and encourages it, but he sits at the back and somebody else does it for him. That's how I see him. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Okay.
Voters
Now,
are entitled to their opinion as well. And if
okay.
voters have decided this is what they want, and when you have the masses who have been marginalized, you have more uneducated people in the Republic of Liberia than you have in most in the countries within the region. Liberia is the oldest independent nation on the continent of Africa. When it comes to innovation to the economy, when it comes to all of these things that's supposed to lead, we were leading in the 50s and the 60s. Remember Kwame Nkrumah and all those guys were coming to Liberia to ask how did we do it, and today we are the least of the least. So now, when you talk about that, you have a 40% adult the population cannot read and write. And then you have all these series of problems that have caused our nation and its people not to be able to advance themselves. When I do fundraisers in New York, I will say this, and this is going to be a little controversial here, but Liberia and Liberia's community always raise the least amount of money. So it's not just that Boakai now having the ability to raise money, because Liberia has not fulfilled its promise to its people. We're the land of liberty, the land of freedom. People coming to find, a new way to survive and exist. And you got 60% of our population cannot read and write their own names. And when the people come up and say, you know what? They may need Joseph Yima Boakai, they may will take care of us. He will make sure our children go to school. He will make sure all the things that didn't happen for us, he will do it for us. We trust that the man here will be the one when he get in the government here, the government will be for us. And you telling me on this show, Reverend, because you are comfortable living in the diaspora, that you will undermine all of those citizens in our republic? They too are Liberians. And so they want a president who would consider them, consider their struggle, and make sure that he creates a government or a system that will include them. We cannot continue to just take care of 10% of the country or 20%. We have got to diversify by creating jobs and giving opportunity to people who never could afford to even buy a house. And so forgive me, Reverend, if I do support someone who the people feel will consider their needs and their struggle, because who was supposed to be the son of the soil, came and fattened himself They didn't do jack for the poor people in our country. Now they believe that Joseph Yima Boakai would be that person that do it for them. I have been in the philanthropic space, the charity space for a very long time, 20 years, educated young children off the streets of Liberia for free, giving them 3 solid meals per day. That was the call. That was the commission, right? Take care of the poor, the orphans, and the widows. I see there's a reverend attached to your name. Those are things that we're supposed to do.
Remy.
Oh, Remy, it's not Reving.
No, Remy, like
Oh, Remy,
Remy Martin.
Remie. Sorry. Okay.
Exactly. Remy
But
Martin.
these are things we're supposed to do. And I've been doing it for 20 years. I'm in the trenches. I'm with the poor. I'm not oftentimes sitting in some chic hotel. I'm in the trenches with the poor, the widows, the market women. And these are the things they talk about on a daily basis. And so when I say, they pape yeah, they pape look understand or small, you might leave bien. Liberian people are tired of being left behind. Yes, Brevi, you have your right to your opinion. This is my opinion. And at the end of the voting process, we will see who opinion matters because the voices of the people will be heard through the ballot boxes. So I'm not here to dispute your opinion, and neither can you dispute mine.
No, I'm not disputing your opinion. Let me just come in with a second assertion. The thing about it, it sounds like an anomaly. Mr. Weir was considered in those same parameter. He's one of us. He's from the slump. He's from the man from Gibraltar. This is a guy who understands us. He has eaten with us. He knows our struggle. Now you know the majority was wrong because what people consider or imagine someone to be is not their true character. Rather, their true character will be in their past, what they've done, their action. All right. So here we are again. The same people are making this assertion. Some, I don't believe Boakai is unanimously accepted as the one that will lead. You talk about opinion. Opinions can shift. They're very perishable items. They can shift. And especially when people are not seeing that even his own campaign, the manifestation of I will help myself first. I'll rescue my own campaign. It's not been demonstrative in that action. The campaign is sluggish, poor, and you said Liberians don't raise money. Watch tonight. The ANC or CPP will be raising funds there.
There's 20 people in the room. What money can they raise from 20 people being in that room?
What I'm trying to say is this.
No, but I remember she said there's 20 people in the room. Is that true?
He's not going to raise 20 people in the room.
We haven't gone there yet. The last time 20 people were in a room, they raised 170,000. You got 56 people in the room. It's not going to get him the presidency.
Remy.
No, I'm just saying this. I'm just saying this.
Alex coming all day long.
No.
This is not Alex Cummings' time.
Madam, it's not about time. It's about you educating the Liberian people as to what they should be looking for, not what others are following. But let me ask you my second question. You understand? I understand that you're part of this rescue mission. And I'm also hearing people mimicking, eavesdropping on other people's campaign teams, their campaign lines. Now we're talking about, Boakai is talking about job. I've now heard the arrests, which are his fundamental platform. I haven't heard it. All I'm hearing is that when he goes and hears someone says this, and he says this, that's how George Weah survived. He survived by leapfrogging. He goes and
so you said Boakai is cheating in class?
You understand? But when a man has a policy and it's coming from their belly, they don't even listen to others. They'll pour it out like they have it. And that is a person with a plan. That is what I've not seen with Ambassador Boakai. I hope he has one. But what you're explaining is something that Alex Cummings would say. Is something that Councillor Gonglo would say.
I'm sorry, Councillor, she's not on. I want us to go back to the program tomorrow We have a lot of questions coming up, and I want to invite the folks in Liberia also to go back to that program. Madam Cooper, I want to understand when she get back on, she will answer your question, Remy. But they're having a program tomorrow at Femiton, and she's at Femiton right now. The program also is about celebrating Senator Yombly Kanga Lawrence's birthday. I'm concerned, and when you ask me, Gibson, I said, but why are you so concerned? I'm concerned because, let's go back. And I hope Madam Cooper can come and address this. You remember the by-election from Lofa County? And everybody said Galapa Kotuma was going to win. You guys remember that, right? What happened? Who won that election? Joseph Jala was his name, or is his name, correct? Was it because of resources? Yes. Was it because of money? I want to hear from Madam Cooper how they intend to raise funds. I saw comments in our backyard last day. You were attending the program. Every little corner that called Mr. Cummings, whether in Michigan, North Carolina, Maryland, wherever in the United States, Mr. Cummings is collecting the money. Say that he's not going to win election, but he's trying, he's making his point, and folks, maybe they are getting tired, but they are still contributing. I want to see that from the Unity Party. And I'm sorry that Mo Ali is not here and Madam Cooper, I was changing this now. I want to understand how they intend to raise money. Are they raising money from the diaspora? Are they raising money only from Liberians in Liberia? Will this kind of program help them? I want to understand the manner in which they are raising money because CDC got the money. ANC having their money. Where is the Unity Party money? That was my first open question to Madam Cooper.
And that's a concern too. I really want to ask my second round. Joseph Boakai say he lives in debt. Joseph Boakai begged George Weah for $2,500 to come to America to go to hospital.
He begged George Weah.
The Unity Party.
Listen, Gibson, I will stop you. He didn't beg George Weah. You don't want people to do that to tell him.
So what did he do?
He didn't.
What did he do? No. What did he do?
He didn't beg.
What did he do? What did he do? So,
Gibson, if I open my mouth,
did he ask for it? Okay, did he ask for it?
You're a journalist.
No. Just tell me now. What did he do? Did he ask for it?
He didn't ask for it either.
What did he do? Tell me. Stop saying you know.
Joe Mann, we are contributor. You ask a question, let me answer. George Mann, we are contributing funds.
Yeah, answer.
JMB. He wouldn't accept.
How did he contribute it?
JMB didn't stop. We got to move.
No, he was not willing.
There is
he was not willing. But then we know the story. I'll be Morocco when nothing happened.
Gibson, but hold on now. You're asking question. Where in the place on your newspaper, on your podcast, anywhere that you would tell the Liberian people JMB begged George Manawea for 2005? Show us something.
My brother, if JMB cannot afford $2,500 to the extent that you send an emissary to George Weah to help him, that is a disgrace to our presidential campaign. George Weah, the man you want to unseat, then you send an emissary to him to help you with money to go to hospital. Your political leaders, the people that are supporting you, they're not able to raise $2,500.
I will hold you now because I want to bring in Paco and Gray. Do you have anything to show to the Liberian people tonight that JMB sent an emissary to George Mann we had to beg for money?
Who are you asking them?
I'm asking you, Gibson. I'm asking you. Do you have anything to share with us tonight?
I can't disclose my source. I cannot disclose my source.
Thank you.
I can bring the source out here to disclose the source, my man.
No, thank you. Listen, I'm not going to put you on that. Let me go to Councilor Paco. Councilor Paco, why we wait for?
Gibson, are you talking about?
Hold on 1 minute. I beg you, Councilor. Are you saying something, Gibson?
No, what I'm saying, I was trying to end my comments.
Okay.
You talk with the money issue you raised, Stanton. You are overlooking the money issue. Maybe you raise it, but you are overlooking it. A party that does not. No, send Benena Yue left the JMB gone broke. Benena Yue and his first and his Osacha, Henry Costa, send the left JMB. He don't have money. He can't raise quite 10,000. What kind of leader is this? You cannot even raise $10,000 at a one rally. to be able to carry on your campaign? 10,000. Same million that you were left. And that's the person, that's how we're not going to raise the money when you become president. Look, we are not even convincing United Party people. I don't care about United Party people. They will not change. But I'm talking to the Liberians today who do not have a decision made yet to remember that putting someone in power is very, very a big decision. Today, we are suffering with George Weah. If you follow Madam Magdala's idea that because she made a, how you call it, she did a survey and they posted JMB will win, therefore she suspend her own campaign and go join JMB. If that is a logic, please think about Tiawanse Gonglo. Vote for someone who will bring actual change.
Let me bring in the councillor. Councillor, please. Your turn.
I mean, I don't know whether Gibson is talking about the issue that Mr. Weah himself brought on. I think I remember a few years ago, Henry Costa did some fundraising to pay Mr. Weah the money back.
Exactly.
They're talking about how Mr. Boakai asking for money. I mean, that was distasteful. Let me be very clear about it. Mr. Weah should never talk about stuff like that. And number two, he shouldn't be taking money from a pocket to give to anybody. Mr. Boakai is entitled to I don't know. I don't think I should call it severance, but he's entitled to certain emoluments that the government should provide him.
Yes,
he's entitled to certain benefits. So there's no reason why he should be asking Mr. Weah for money. If Mr. Weah is refusing to pay that money, if the government is refusing to pay that money, there's recourse in law. I don't understand why.
Can I ask you a question, Councillor? Can I ask you a question? Because I think you're on a track right now. So can you now denounce what Gibson is running with? One, give me the chance to rest, please. One, Gibson said, Ambassador Boakai begged, which of course was there's nothing to show that.
What Mr. Weah said.
Okay. Thank you for saying that's what Mr. Weah said. But Gibson is saying it's true. Gibson is being affirmative in his statement that Mr. Boakai begged. So we just got to set the record straight.
Now what Mr. Weah said, and I didn't hear Mr. Boakai say anything and that he didn't ask for it. I didn't hear him say, I didn't hear him say anything. But Costa, I remember Costa got really angry about this thing, and he had a fundraiser on his program, and he collected the money. They were supposed to give it to Mr. Snow, who was the one that was the emissary. I don't know what is the same emissary that Gibson is referring to.
You got more Adi coming on.
But the thing is that we should not allow anybody, especially if the person is the government. Because tomorrow I see people paying debt on the CDC people. For us, we got nothing to fraud with them.
Right.
We'll deal with them.
It's true.
We'll deal with them based upon the wrong they've done. We'll not deal with them because we got personal issue with them. But then the United Party people have a beef that if we're not careful, this country goes down a very bad track with the two groups always going at each other. Because they assume that they refuse to pay Mr. Boakai his just benefit. Mr. Boakai comes to office, he decides to prosecute.
Do the same thing. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
I mean, so that's the reason why these two people, we should put them on one side. We shouldn't even be discussing them in the political sense. One group of them had 12 years in power, they failed.
I'm sorry, guys. I will let you finish up. Madam Cooper is back.
5.5 years in power, and they have failed worse than the other people. The level of rivalry between the two groups, the Liberian people, the majority of the people that Gibson just talking about, that silent majority out there, that undecided majority out there, got to look at their own personal welfare and decide that.
I want to hold you there. You are quite correct. I like your answer this time around. You try to be fair and balanced. I think Gibson, to me, I'm not going to hold him publicly, but I think Gibson, to say that his sources told him that Joseph Yima Boakai begged President Weah for the money of 2005 and sent his emissary to President Weah. I think it's not true. But Madam Cooper, who is the guest tonight, she's back on. Allow me, Councillor. My question, Madam Cooper, was to you. But before I do that, let me ask Remy Gray. He was asking his last question. Hey, Remy, can you repeat your last question since we have Madam Cooper back?
Completely lost my train of thought.
So jump on the train. Jump on the rescue train. You'll get it back.
Bravo, Staten. Bravo.
Oh man.
I'll come back with that question. But she can address to what I've heard so far. I was just talking about arrest.
Oh, Remy, I I can take over your remaining time.
No, no,
No,
which
no,
is
no.
the arrest. The arrest has to do with the fundamental platform of Ambassador Boakai. But you name all other things but arrest. In other words, he was eavesdropping on others, and he mimics them as he goes forward because it's not coming from his belly. This is not his own policy per se. He just needs to say something to survive for the moment. So that
Mhm.
was where I was coming from with my second question.
Well, I don't think that's the case. But again, I'm not a spokesperson for the campaign. I'm not a spokesperson for Rescue One, and neither was I ever asked to be a spokesperson. But from my experience, and I see General Mo Ali is on here with us now. Mo, welcome. It's good to see you on here.
Thank you.
And I don't think that's the case. In this case, I think Bokai had
General Mo Ali.
that's my private name for that's what I call him privately. He's a general. He's someone who's doing some good work here on the rescue team. And but going back to Remy's question, look, the reality is we were in a, we Bokai has sat with us several times and he has listed his agenda for Liberia so that we who are on the rescue team, whether we're in the leadership, which the leadership will be the campaign team will be announced tomorrow at this event. And I hope we'll compare notes after the event you guys are hosting. But look, and Remy, I don't want to derail from the question. At the end of the day, we're all opposition and we want it best for Liberia because we know that one thing is that this government has to go. And even though it's not your candidate's time, but our candidate has an agenda. And when we meet in second
That was where I
round,
was
because we
coming
all
for
have to
that
merge
second
in.
question. That was where I was coming from with that second question. That I do not believe that it's not my candidate's time because this is all conjecture. Until we can go to election, there is a solid majority of individuals who know exactly what they want. They're not for Buckeye. It's the unknown.
Like I said, we're not here to knock each other because we will need each other in the second round, and so we have got to stay focused on making sure we attack all of our attacks, all of our concerns is not between the opposition candidates. I really do wish, I really do wish that your candidate had listened more to the Liberian people, understand the pulse of the people and where the nation is going at this moment, and made some really good decisions not to go waste all that money trying to run after people who are running the opposite direction. We by now we should be trying to work together as an opposition to knock out the incumbent because that's our real problem. The problem is not just at Bokai. Irrespective of what we say on this show tonight, the problem is not just at Bokai. The problem is not the opposition. The problem is this failed incumbent government, and that's where they attack. But for some reason, people from your camp just think that Joseph Bokai is Ellis Cummings' problem. And so all of the attacks, instead of going to attack George Weah and how much he has failed, but I guess when you have people from George Weah camp supporting you, it's very hard to talk about them and how much they've failed. And so you guys have to reassess your agenda and not focus on Bokai as your enemy.
Can you
You
elaborate a
guys
little bit about people from Weir
us
Camp supporting Cummings? Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
we'll say that again.
Can you elaborate on the idea that people from George Weir Camp supporting Alex Cummings?
Well, you guys have enough people behind you that we know, and you very well know who they are. I'm not going to call names here tonight, but I just want to remind you that people in your camp always think that Bokai is the enemy. Bokai is not the one that's going to that has been stealing money from Liberia people for all this time. You guys have to calm down with that. We're not your enemy. We're all in this together. Yes, of course, we're opponents. We're opponents. Now we're all in opposition, although we're opponents, right? But you gotta turn your attention on Weah and his field administration. That is where your attack and your focus should be.
Unnecessary.
Let me ask you a question before we bring in Mo Ali. And Mo, welcome to the show. I'd like to ask you a very serious question. I know you have in your program tomorrow to raise some funds. I'm going back in history, Madam Cooper. The election in Lofa was a red flag. You follow that election.
Right.
Money was raised. They raised a lot of money. But something happened. Poor washers, and it didn't get there on time. Misappropriation. We discussed this here on Spoon. My fear, and a lot of Liberians' fear, is that Unity Party, either the party does not have money, or the party just don't want to spend. This is going to be a serious issue for Jose Yima Boakai in this election. Speak to
Well,
Liberians tonight. What's the game plan after the team is announced? Kicking, jumping. You talk to any all Unity Party folks, they say we don't have money. Basic money for optic purposes, basic money to go into the interior. It's an issue, and I'm saying this, and it's getting
oh,
frustrating. Can you talk
well,
to Liberians tonight? Where is the game plan right now to jumpstart this thing?
absolutely, Stanton. First of all, first thing first, we have got to host this event tomorrow. We have got to see the result of this event, because our intention, all of us who are coming from Liberty Party, from MOL, from MPR, and all of the other political parties that are coming together under this alliance, which is called the Rescue Team, the Rescue Mission, we are not the past. We were not in Lofa. Whatever the Unity Party, the mistake was made, we were not part of that relationship. We are here today. We're going to focus on this event tomorrow. We're going to get the list of the leadership, the campaign team, campaign manager, chair. All of these different people are going to be announced tomorrow. It's going to be wonderful. People are paying money to buy these tickets. There are not one seat that will be given to anyone for free. People are paying $1,000 for a seat for one plate. People are paying $500. People are paying $100 or down to $100. But everyone in that room is paying money. So when you say people don't have money, of course, people
Yeah,
need
I'm
to.
gonna push you because I have limited time with my own question. The other guys got to come on. Madam Cooper, this is America.
Right.
In your
And we're in.
absence, Mr. Cummings was 8 minutes away from me. Though he had 10, 15, 20 people, or who knows the number, he raised some money. He's at a convention right now. That's why you see El Remy is in my backyard. He's going to raise some money. I met Mr. Cummings in North Carolina. They raised over 250,000. He went to Maryland. He went to Chicago. He went to Michigan. Mr. Cummings went to Canada. He didn't wait for 4 months to the election. He raised some money. For CDC government, guess what? They already signed a $64 million deal that was passed. They got money in the war chest, 65. So I want to know, Liberians want to know. Say anything you want to say. This is election.
Right.
They're going to put out the team tomorrow. We are hearing Madam Yomdi Kanga Lawrence will be the chair. She will control that. She will say that again.
Sure.
Campaign manager. Madam, she will be the campaign manager. You have the rest of them to follow. What's the game plan? And I'm going to reach out to Yombly. She will appear on Spoon and want to know how you guys intend to raise money. Without money, I'm doubtful. I'm doubtful that Jose Yima Barker will survive the election. He can have the people, but without money, that's problem. Yeah.
Saturn, here's what's happening. If you talk to the people from CDC, you want to talk about campaign financing and funding. Look at what CDC spent last election. It really didn't spend a lot of money, because there were those of us who came in second round to support CDC and gave them some money that they'd never seen previously. You know, when the people desire this is the person we're carrying, they don't need your money for it. And this is what we're seeing in every district we go to. When I'm on the campaign train, on a rescue train, when you go to every district, people are walking, coming to those campaign rallies. Yes, I'm not denying the fact that we need funding, and but people who really think there's needs for change, they are coming to those rallies. They're bringing in their cars. They're filling their cars with people who don't have ways to get there, and those rallies are packed. The same thing that happened to Joey at the last election. That's what happened here. Unfortunately, you guys are in the US, you're not seeing this, but we're not busing people in. We went to one district, district number 13. where Honorable Cornelia Cra is talk about is running. This young woman was incredible. She pulled such a crowd, and these people were not bust in. It wasn't like ANC.
Oh, the Madam Cooper is a Framerton hotel in Liberia, so you know we have some technical problem.
Opposition. We're not here to knock each other.
But Madam Cooper, before Mo Ali come in, please bear with me. Mo, I'm begging you. Let me ask you this.
Please
We
do.
saw this in Lofa. Money, actually, it was because of money. The poor watchers. Some of them all received a dime, especially in the Gbani community, where Councilor Jara came from. That was a problem. I know the story because I have men on ground that slept there. We sponsor our team that went there, and we know what happened with the results. I'm going to stop this far to tell you, Madam Cooper, we're not talking about Montserrado. We are not talking about part of Grand Bassa, Buchanan, Bon County, Kakatan, Lofa, Nimba in the city. We talk about in the interior. I don't know your position on this team, but you got to be very transparent to say exactly how you intend to do this, because the money will be a problem, and alas, some poor washer will flip over. And I know this is to Yombly heart. Yombly is very concerned about poor washer because she ran 2 elections. She know how it is.
Stanton, can I come in, please?
Come in while she's having a problem. Come in, please, Moali, please do. But so can you answer my question, though?
No, so firstly, I will start by dispelling the notion that we never had money for pool washers in Lofa. What was requested for by the team was provided even in surplus. Maybe it was an issue of management, which we've learned a lesson from, and which we will improve on as we continue to improve all of the time. So the issue of Lofa was not about money, the availability of money to pay pool washers. It was an issue of management. I like to set that record very straight.
No, that I'm gonna hold you, Mo. You're my brother and friend, but I'm gonna hold you. Can I hold you right there, Mo? I beg you. This is the spoon talk, Mo. I can let you slide with it.
I know this is a spoon talk. So I'm telling you that,
and I know. But you know, and I know, if you say it was about management, then you gotta rather explain on which end management failed.
Here is it. The Galapa Kotima campaign in Lofa, they requested that they wanted to exclusively manage the pool washers. And they requested $9,000 US for pool washers payment. We delivered to them through a Fanso Bede, right in Foya, $10,000 US, $1,000 more. So I say, apparently it was an issue of management, which we've learned a lesson from, and we're going to correct. Now, I come to several issues that were raised here and several gibberish that was spewed by the likes of Gibson, Jeru, and others.
Before you do that, Mo, let's realize that Madela Cooper is in and out. So save some time that she can jump in, okay?
Yeah, definitely. You know, every night Gibson Jeru comes on the show and acts like he supports Councillor Tiawon Gonglo and behaves like Councillor Tiawon Gonglo is a rich man. I'll tell you this, Gibson Jeru, we will authorize the Election Commission to publish the assets and liability of JNB. And you will realize that JNB does not owe anybody a cent. That's JNB. Number two, when the recent voter registration was ongoing, your Tier 1 Gonglo, I'm not going to disrespect him, did not have pool washers anywhere. The Unity Party had pool washers throughout the length and breadth of this country. And that amounted to more than $250,000. Now you pay, the money came from your pocket to pay. It was the Unity Party. And I hear the ANC people, you can raise money.
But Gonglo, not even raise. Why would you mention it?
No, guys. Let's do it one at a time. I'm begging. Let's do it one at a time. No interruption, please.
All over the place like frog. Give me a chance. You cannot raise money UP cannot raise money. What has the millions Commies been raising? What strategy has he used it on to give him support? Every day your support dwindles. Every day your support dwindles. Money, raising money is not the issue. What you do with the little you have. Strategically spending is what the
No
Unity
more,
Party
Ali.
is noted
Our
for.
support is not dwindling.
Guys, we will not
You are
listen,
pulling
guys.
the
Listen.
numbers, and
No,
you
no,
guys
no,
are
no,
in
no.
denial.
Remy, we will wait. Remy, listen, more guys. We have Madam Madera Cooper in our maze. We will not have that argument. We will wait. We will have our time to speak, please. Mo, you have another minute, Mo.
Talking about you got somebody here to you, Joseph Boakai went back. We are. You know, to that, be once said, if a mosquito comes in your house, you don't mind the mosquito whining in your house and burn your house. I know, Gibson Jeru, you've been a CDC journalist forever. I know you are doing the CDC bidding through Councilor Gonglo. We're not paying heed to you because you are plus or minus. You went down there. You don't bring anything to the table to Councilor Gonglo except subtracting from him. And I'll tell you this very quickly. The Unity Party, Stanton, will raise money for her campaign. The Unity Party is ready for these campaigns. To come and be asking Madam Cooper how you raise the money, this and that, no serious political strategists come on the radio talk show and expose their strategies there because they want to answer a question that Stanton is asking or something spewed out by Gibson Jeru. Tiawan Bonglo has always said he's a poor man. So why is Gibson Jeru looking for a rich candidate? That's why I said Gibson Jeru is doing the bidding of Josh Weah, because Josh Weah right now and Cummings are the richest people. You talk about Remy Gato about no CDC people behind Josh Weah. I sent you a video, Stanton, play that video about the mayor of Sacré-Pied, telling us that.
Can you resend it? Can you resend that video? I don't have it. And if you want us to play,
it's a regime collaborator. The mayor you behind as your chairman. It did not come from me. You should check your back properly before coming to make statements. I'll send you the video now so you can play for the public to hear.
Thank you, Mo. Before we go to Remy and Gibson, let me bring in Madam Cooper, and then we will go through the roundtable again. We still get another 45 minutes to go. Madam Cooper, please.
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you.
Madam Cooper, if you'd like to take off where Mo left out, you can go ahead and talk to us. These are some concerning issues, but you're saying that the program will be held tomorrow. Madam Yombli Kanga Lawrence, my senator for Grand Bassa County, probably she will be the campaign manager, but this is the program: Rescue 1, Rescue 2, Rescue Mother, Rescue Auntie, Rescue Uncle, Rescue Sponsor. Everybody will be at this program tomorrow, the 2nd of July, 2023, at the Farmington Hotel Ballroom. Can you keep it up, please? My question coming from there, please. Mr. Producer, can you keep it up? Yeah, so he changed it on us. There you go. Now, you're saying that 1,000 USD, gold 500, silver 250, and the bronze will be $100. Can you talk to us now, the way forward? And you don't have to explain, like Mo is saying, your game plan. But the way forward now is getting serious. You have any team here in the United States, you have any group here in the United States, like Cummings is doing, raising funds, bringing in the real JMB supporter, not only restricted to Unity Party. Can you tell us that thereafter, what's the next step about raising more money?
Well, once the campaign team is announced tomorrow during this event, which is a double-edged sword, raises funds for the campaign, for the poll watchers and poll workers, and also is a celebration for the birthday anniversary of our rescue mother, where the campaign team will be announced, and we will all have our marching orders to go and do the work that needs to be done for the campaign. Our aspirant became a candidate yesterday, which was a very good thing for us, because he's no longer an aspirant. He's now a candidate, and in a few weeks we will have the rate of campaign. The election will be open, and the campaign will be open. So we will then be able to create or an extended team, a team in the diaspora. We're already engaged in talking to folks in the diaspora who are so passionate about seeing JNB become the next president. And so we have to expand those teams. You know, we have to expand beyond those individuals and really build a strong movement here so that this dream can be realized. And we can have finally a leadership that understands Liberia and has a heart for Liberia and really move our country in the right direction. I'm excited about this. So this event tomorrow is the starting point, and from there we will reach more, more consistently out to the folks in the diaspora, and we will start. We don't want to run a long drag out campaign is we have 3 months left. We're going to try to condense our efforts and bring on the right people to help win this election. So we will tell you right after tomorrow what the next immediate step would be. And Stanton and all the guys on here, Evie Gibson, and Counselor, I hope you guys will join us. So it's gonna be a great time.
My last question to you, and then we can bring in Councillor Bakwa. Are you operating right now as a rescue team here in the United States?
Well, Stanton, we hope to have individuals like yourself who can help us, give us some ideas as to how to expand on the rescue team in the diaspora, because we're not there. You guys are there, so we're open to your ideas of as to how we can reach out to more of the sympathizer and well-meaning folks in the diaspora and everybody else who may be on the fence and not having crossed over yet.
Since you started supporting JMB, do you have a problem with? Is there any problem? Is there any disconnect when you talk about Unity Party or JMB team? Is there any disconnect?
No, like I said, we don't look. We work together. All of the different parties are represented. The political leaders of the various parties are together all the time, especially when we're on the campaign train, going to the different rallies where we're just excited about what we're about to do. And we try to get
answering. I'm sorry to interrupt because the guys got to come in. Will Yombly and her team, because I know it is now confirmed probably till JMB announced it tomorrow. Will Yombly and her team be answering to Unity Party, or Yombly and her team will be answering to JMB and Jeremiah Kuhn? How does it work?
Well, I don't have the answer.
If you don't mind, can I come in with that question?
Yes, I was just going to.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, please. Thank you.
Samson, the way campaign works, the campaign is for the standard bearer, the candidate, and not for the party. It is the candidate who sets up the campaign team, and the campaign team is answerable to the candidate and not the party. And so if Yomli is the chair of the campaign, Yomli is going to manage the campaign along with the entire campaign team, the campaign manager, every other person, and they will be answerable only to the candidate. There will be coordination and collaboration between the party and the campaign team because the party is part of the campaign team.
Thank you. I mean, you well said, because there's a reason I asked that. Folks also running with that, because if we have to, anyway, we'll get back to it. Let me bring in Councillor Pakor. Pakor, before we let go, because I know we got to go through rapid fire. It's 6 o'clock here. Before we let go of Madam Cooper, I will give you guys a chance to come up with one last question, please. Anything about the program tomorrow and about party, then we'll give her a chance to explain.
Can you please put back up the flyer that has the money on it?
Diamond, can you please? Diamond, can you put up the flyer, please? Thank you.
Okay, so I want Ms. Cooper to tell us whether this group is a group of elites in exclusion to the rest of the population. Because the location where you even having a program, you say you want to rescue the masses, right? And you don't even think the masses are worth coming there. Look at the kind of money you're even charging. Did anybody really pay attention to this thing when you're doing it? When you're planning to do it?
Yes, of course. Yes,
Well,
of course, Council.
there are millions of, I mean, I shouldn't say millions. There may not be the Samuel 12. There are hundreds of thousands of people out there that are downtrodden, but yet and still, they want to be a part of the change that's happening in this country.
Right.
If you decide to go to somewhere, and initially you were talking about that the only people who will be allowed in there are people who will pay. You people are already sold tickets and stuff. I mean, is there something that we're missing here? Can you explain?
No, you're not missing anything,
Can you explain?
Counselor. You're not missing anything.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But let me tell you this, Counselor. In Liberia, we have different economic status of people. You know that, right? I'm sure you do.
So the common people will be somewhere else, right?
So here's the deal.
Uh-huh.
We will have these events for everyone. Okay. Now, my Lapa women my Oma in the market house, they want different kind of event. When you bring in people then who get $1,000 for a plate of food, that different plate you bring in. When we go to campaign rally, everybody there, you can pay 1,000, you pay this and that plate, what will all mix up. So when we finish with eating, when they put who want to eat their fancy dinner then then we'll go on the field, we put our tent there, we put our bucket there, we put our tree there, we can open the lapa here. 100 heads.
So Madam Cooper, in fact, what you're saying is that the people who will enter through the front door, they're different from the people who enter through the back door, right?
1,000, 100,000.
You know, the people who will the people who will
we have something for everybody. I know you can't
But one at a time now. One at a time, guys, please.
I remember when I was a kid.
You know,
Stanton.
No, guys, wait. I beg you, wait. Counselor, hold on 1 minute. Counselor, hold on 1 minute. Counselor, hold on.
Stanton, I wanted to answer Lamine's question.
More wait, guys. We're gonna give the counselor the chance. Counselor, when Madam Cooper is speaking, please pause, and you will continue after she answers. So continue, counselor.
Yeah, I should continue.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I remember when way back, and I think some people still do that in this country. They will not allow you enter the front door. They will tell you to pass to the back because you're not good enough to go to the front.
There you go.
In homes in this country, they used to have the margarine bottle can. The margarine bottle can, they will open it up, and when you come and ask for water, they'll give you water in that. So you're not good enough to drink from the cup. That the aesthetic of this situation, how it appears like. You go to an exclusive place, and you say the Lapa women, you go put tent somewhere for them to come there. I mean, you people serious?
Can I speak to this matter?
I mean, we got to move the country forward.
Can I speak to this matter, Stanton, for just 1 minute?
No. Madam Cooper will have to speak because she's about to leave for you guys to come on. But Madam Cooper will have to speak. Madam Cooper, please.
Yeah, at least I'll have time to respond to the hypocrisy in Lamine Bagoy and
Madam Cooper, please. Yes.
So, Counselor, I'm very impressed that you care about the masses so much. I know you get plenty of people then living in your house that just come on the street. They'll be drinking in your glass every day. When your wife cook your food, your sweetheart cook on your table, you can't eat. Yeah, you can't. Everybody come on the street can't eat. When you get you get what?
I got no buttercup in my house.
Yeah, you got buttercup in your house, but all the children who can be doing kush on the street and in your house, they sleep in your bed too.
Yeah.
When we're having our rally, our dollar rally, our small grassroots campaign, we'll call you. Yes, you can put your small things in. But please come tomorrow to come join us for the $1,000 plate because I know Council you get beaten, you can pay $1,000 for plate. So we'll be expecting you tomorrow to drop your 1,000. Then you want to do my fundraiser in the market, you can there too, yeah? Open your lap here and drop smaller thing there too. Okay, I will stop here now and go back to the other side. Counselor, this is how it's done. This is how it's done. We have got to respect all the categories of people, how they want to be respected. The same way how they people decide today, this is what we want. We want to eat potato greens today, tomorrow we'll eat cassava leaf, or the day after we'll eat our chalk rice. This is how it is. So you can't criticize because you're against my candidate. You're against what we're trying to do to rescue this country. You can't be against this. This is the right thing for our nation. Maybe you want another 6 years of way up, but we don't. We don't, and we are serious about this. We don't want even another hour of Waya leadership. So the best bet here in this entire election is J and B. Whether you like it or not, continue to criticize, but I know we will see you in second round.
Thank you. Mr. Gibson, you want to come in? We'll go to Aaron and Gray. Then we're going to appreciate the time Madam Cooper spent with us.
Yeah.
Mr. Gibson, please.
I'll be very short. I have somebody who wanted to ask Madam Magdala a question, but let me say this.
No, after.
You know,
coming more, please.
Yeah, it's something I want to say, Mr. Mo Ali. Every time you attack me, you promote me. To say I'm a CDC journalist, you just promoting me. Because people know that I'm not an independent journalist.
No, guys, it's okay.
Okay, please, don't
listen,
interrupt.
Listen, guys, listen. Hold on 1 minute, guys. Mr. Gerald, because we have to let go of Madam Cooper, can you direct your question to her after she leaves? Then we will come to discuss our own.
Just laying my premise. The issue I have right now is, let me ask you a question. I can see that you guys are speaking from two sides of your mouth. At one point in time, you said nobody should hit on Joseph Boakai, but your first public statement here today, you condemned Cummings that he would not be president. How can you be hating on Cummings and you don't want anybody to hit on Joseph Boakai? Why?
We have to define clearly what it means to hit on.
If you tell somebody, say you will not be president, and the man say Joseph Boakai will not be president, but you say they shouldn't do that. But you are telling the man the Cummings will not be president. He raised all the money, he's not going anywhere. You are critiquing Cummings, but you don't want people to critique Joseph Boakai because we are all in the same opposition. What is the logic in that?
Look, Gibson, in politics, there is no emotion, right? We leave the emotion at the door. Because in politics, it's all about the numbers. And you know, I have been a very good predictor of Liberian politics since I've been involved with it. I always know where the wind, the WIND of the WIN is going. And you can look at my track records. For most of the people I've called,
you're not answering my question, though.
No.
I beg you, Gibson, let the woman flow, please.
So to sit here and say what is already been foreseen and predicted through opinion surveys. Look, Gibson, the reality is we know where the wind is going, right? Just as we predicted in the second round in 2017, we knew, although we didn't like it, we knew that George Weah was the choice of the people. We didn't like it, but it was the choice of the people. When the people select who they're going to vote for, you cannot go against the will of the people. So don't feel emotionally wounded because I'm speaking the heart of the people. I'm speaking the heart of the people.
Emotionally wounded. My second question will come from somebody on the line. Is it okay? From Mr. Calebo?
No, we're bringing Calebo. Oh, he want to ask
yes, he want to ask a question? Yes.
Okay, if that's a second question, bring him. He's our friend. Bring him. We are not hearing him, Gibson. He's very low, Gibson.
Gives you
he's low? Go ahead.
He's very, very low.
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello?
Anton, do you hear me?
Yes, you're good now. Go ahead, sir.
So my name is Stanton.
I mean, we're not hearing you. I think you're trying to give me the right pronunciation of your name. Is that why you called in?
I'm calling to ask a serious question of Madam Cooper.
Then go ahead, ask your question, sir.
Okay, so here is my question, Madam Cooper. Two things. My premise is based on two issues here. One, in NIMA and Lofa, the UP and the NDR, your political alliance partners, allies, are putting forth candidates against each other in most electoral districts. And by the national level, there is alliance between these political parties. Also, few days, probably a week ago, Ambassador Boakai gave a clear instruction and there was a press release to that effect, instructing Unity Party senators and probably opposition senators not to vote for the $64 million loan deal. But clearly, these people did not listen to Boakai. Based on these two scenarios, one, that you have political parties fighting each other at the district level, but they are in political alliance at the national level. That shows for me that Boakai is not showing leadership on that one. Now, my question to you, as the political leader of MOL, what does it say about Boakai's ability to lead a ravaged country like Liberia beyond or we are? And my question is, and I expect you, Madam Cooper, to be quite honest and be yourself on this. Because 2 months ago, Stanton can play that video. You are on the very spoon saying Boakai is too old, he must sit down. I'm surprised that you are back and say you are following the will of the public. Stanton
Thank you,
and
Mr.
Madam
Thank you, Mr. Gonglo. Thank you, Mr. Gonglo. Thank you, Mr. Gonglo. Thank you for your question. Shall we move on to Madam Cooper, please? Madam Cooper?
Right. Well, yes. The gentleman, it's he talked about the 64 million, 65 million, and Boakai calling the individuals.
By the way,
some
Madam
individuals
Cooper, sorry to interrupt you, is Councillor Gonglo brother. We have to set it straight. That's Councillor Gonglo brother. Okay.
Right. And so that does not reflect on Boakai's, on JFB's ability to lead. That does not reflect on his ability to lead, because once he called the opposition senators together and he asked them, or he shared with them his view on the need not to support that bill or that particular loan, it was up to them. But he's not a dictator. He's not a dictator. So they went after they agreed to say yes, Papa, they go do something different. That's not his fault. This is why it is so look, for the gentleman to say that, oh, how does that reflect on his leadership? It does not reflect negatively on his leadership, in my view. Right? So how many of our children can tell another to do something and still go do it? That's the same thing here. So I know for sure the senators who did not sign that bill were in that meeting, and we have congratulated them, and we all talked about it. And we were surprised by the ones who did. So, and it's not every senator in the opposition bloc wants to support the same way how we're sitting here as opposition, fighting each other about whose candidate is right, whose candidate. I know for sure JMB is going to go to the second round, and we're going to have others coming to support. So we got to take it easy on you guys, But then the other part of the question, which he talks about me being on the show and talking about JMB, that was done, and he's absolutely right. That was done before my POS was done, the public opinion survey. The people say he may be old, he may be this, he may be that, but he's our next president. And so whether you like it or not, this is what the people wanted. That's what's going to happen.
Thank you, Madam Cooper. Just to add to that question before we bring in El Ramin and our brother Mo Ali, I'd like to just go further with Mr. Gonglo's first question when he called on the phone. Don't you think that is concerning? We had this Musrata Senator Ibrahim Darizalon. He was super confident. He said, "Listen, we got about 13. Rescue Mother is working. Yumbly is bringing the troop home." Most people were happy. Look at Javon Smith. Look at Kamina Wisse. We can name them. And Rick Togbak, one of the county that Joseph Boakai must win, Bon County. I mean, what was the issue? I mean, are they seriously supporting JMB, or they are still on the fence?
Well, I can't answer for them. I can't answer for them. So we will have to call them on the show to answer those questions. But you talked about the senator of Bon County, but you also didn't mention Prince Moi, the senator from Bon County as well, right? There are two senators. And so, look, if one does something, the other one did not. His 1 out of 2 is not so bad after all. we were hoping to get more votes against that bill because we don't want that not bill, but the loan. We don't want that loan to go through, because if that loan goes through, it's going to be utilized to run a campaign in Liberia, right, against the opposition, to get back to put this incompetent incumbent government back into power. That was the number one the thing we were trying to do here. But if those senators didn't quite get it, there was nothing JMP can do about that. Just
We,
to
we,
say,
we heard because I hear a lot, and I hope I can ask Senator Yumley this question likewise. Jim Barney says, Stanton, I would not openly declare JMB on your show tonight when he was on the show. He said we got to do one or two things. Have those
right.
things been considered? Will we see Jimmy announcing tomorrow that he's supporting JMB openly? Are there any stumbling black? Jane Banning, I can even bring in Alaric Tokwa. Alaric Tokwa have not declared yet. What's going on? I mean, are they speaking in communication with Yumley?
Well, I'm sure the Senator Lawrence will come on the show and speak for herself. But those individuals are individuals I'm sure is going to come along, but they're waiting for the right moment to make their full-on decision, just as I did in Basel. If you remember when Senator Lawrence made her declaration, I was on that stage. I didn't fully declare my support to the rescue team until we had our conversations and we understood the agenda for Liberia, the direction JMP was going to take this country into. And once I got all of those things clear out, I was able to fully call a press conference up at my headquarters in Monrovia and was able to make my declaration. So we will respect the same thing with Bonnie and with I'm sure they will do the same thing.
Thank
Right.
you very much, ma'am. I appreciate that. Remy, can you go then more? Ali will take us home with Medela Cooper tonight.
Well, clearly, Madam Cooper eloquently made a record in our Liberian politicking very clear and is impressive. Nonetheless, where I find troubling is the idea that she's not cognizant of the fact of where we are at politicking this electioneering. We are we are in a competition of all against all at this stage, and you have not been able to recognize that. And you also have not been able to know that the ANC will call for, or the CPP will call for, if we are tired struggling and nobody almost shows up. But when they show up in other areas where they're picking up steam now, you say that the boss people in there. But then my question is, do you think that this election at this point should be only about Joseph Boakai as the opposition? Everybody else should rally around him. Why at this stage?
I guess redundancy is the request of the day here. I didn't realize that I'd be so
No, it's
redundant.
not. It's not a matter of redundancy because you have to be able to tell us
But
why
look,
we all should just drop off what we're doing and support Joseph Boakai. So there must be a compelling reason why you want that to be now at this stage of the election.
guys, you have got to raise some money with all these hundreds of thousands of dollars that Cummings is raising, and let Cummings do a public opinion survey. It will help him. Public opinion surveys can be done in two ways. You can do it one for fundraising, and you can do this to know your real chances of winning an election. Now, Cummings and his team needs to invest in an opinion survey, a public opinion survey that's not for fundraising purposes. I'm a queen of fundraising. I've
It's
raised
not
funds for
practical. It's not
it
scientific.
is.
It's
It
not
is.
practical. Where
It
are you getting
is.
your sampling from? What's the
But
disparity of
the
the
data,
sampling?
where
It
you get
is
your
not
sample from,
practical.
it is
Not
very
everybody
practical.
has access.
No, you guys, maybe you're investing in public opinion survey just to go to the international community and say, look at what I'm doing. You bust people into rallies to show that you got crowd.
No,
Look at what
no,
we
no.
be popular with. Look, you're fooling yourself. And maybe there are a lot of you guys who are buying into that rhetoric, but it's not realistic. You cannot pay the MTA to bus people from Montreal to Grand Bassa County to go make an announcement of your VP, and you take an overall a picture and take it to the world and say, "Yo, look at the crowd we got." That's not real crowd.
No,
You
that's
are
distortion, madam. That's distortion. That's not what it is.
Okay, you got a second question.
I'm on the ground.
No,
I'm on the
that's
ground.
distortion. Because you know what? If that were the case, they could have gone to the Retire Suffering rally. They could have bust enough people there. The thing is, tides are changing, and you are failing to accept that. Now, we understand that the Unity Party's struggle with finances is even reflected in their inability to pay their rent. Recently, there was a lawsuit, and now we hear again about another lawsuit. Good luck.
TDC
Now,
struggle to pay their rent. They still want election. TDC struggle to even buy airline ticket for a job. We had to travel. We had to
times are changing. You don't use one system, in place of the other. If not, CDC will win the election, according to your own logic. You're saying, but my question is, I know you're not going to tell us your campaign strategy or how you intend to fundraise and all of that stuff. Do you think the Unity Party will be able to raise at least $20 million?
I think it's unfair to be asking Madam Cooper about Unity Party when she is not.
She is the guest. You cannot determine what's fair or
Remy is asking his last question for us to move on. Let
you should be muting up your microphone, Moali.
No,
like any other.
So that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Guys, I'm begging you. Let's go ahead. Ed, can you please ask your question?
We all remain silent when others are speaking.
Can you ask your question, Ed? Can you ask your question?
Do you think the Unity Party will at least raise 20 million, so we don't end up with that fiasco about Kotima, where the Unity Party was not even able to pay their poll watchers to man the poll. You understand? Do you think the Unity Party has that capacity under your watch?
Under my connectivity with the Unity Party and the rescue team or the rescue mission, we have set our fundraising goal, and we are together. We are going to accomplish that. We're going to accomplish this because we didn't come on board to be a failure. We came on board to be helpful in the success that's ahead of us. And of course, Unity Party is the party that's producing the candidate, and we will work together to make that happen. And so, to your question, Remy, yes, we are together as a team going to raise. Now, you talk about $20 million. I don't know if we're going to raise $20 million. We don't need $20 million to win an election, especially if, given the fact that the people of Liberia, the masses, won our candidate. They will be willing to do anything to go to the polls to vote for the candidates. We talk about the poll watchers, for example. People are volunteering themselves. People are saying, I will take responsibility of this precinct. I will take responsibility of this precinct. I'll cook the food. I'll pay the people. We are already getting people who are committing. We have over 2,080 precincts across the country. Now, people are starting to volunteer to say, this entire precinct is for me. Y'all put out on my budget. So that's where the vast majority of the resources are gonna go to: the poll watchers, the security, and the logistics, right? So we're gonna do this. I don't go anywhere where there's no success. Every election I've been a part of over the past, since 2016, has been successful. So I know for sure we're gonna be successful in this, Remy.
Thank you very much, Madam Cooper. Now Mo going to come in with his question to you. Mo, you cannot ask and bring in the argument because we have to say goodbye.
Let me take my time to address some of the things. I am a UP person, and I don't need to ask a question because I know the great.
But if you don't need to ask a question, then let's just ask.
But let me use my time to respond to some of the things they've said. Yeah, what do you mean? It's my time.
You want her on for you to use. Why you use your time?
Not 1 minute you want to get me? And I 1
Yeah, I
minute
give
you
you
want
30
to give me, let me
seconds.
use
30
for 2
seconds. Go
minutes.
ahead.
Mo's not a
No.
guest. He
That's
should
not
be
fair.
asking.
That is not fair.
Mo should be asking, not a
No,
guest.
no,
You
no,
can't
no.
put
You
people
on
on
Hey,
the
this
spot.
Remy,
show
hey, Remy,
is
let the man speak.
you are
Hey,
not
Remy,
the
let the
host.
man
Let the
speak.
madam do that.
Hey, Remy, let the man
The
speak,
rule on
please.
this
Go
show
ahead,
is
Mo.
you have 2 minutes to ask a question. I want to use my 2 minutes. I want to use my 2 minutes to deal with your
Go
hypocrisy.
ahead.
Mama, it's
You not
Go
unfair.
ahead.
It's unfair. You cannot use
Remy,
minutes
stop
But,
in
crying,
a
yo.
way
hey,
you
Remy,
cannot
Remy,
have.
hey,
Remy,
Remy, I beg you
stop
guys,
crying.
allow me
Anytime
to.
talking to somebody,
Yeah.
get done with crying you.
Yo, let Mo Ali go ahead. Mo, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I will start off with my brother Lamik Pago. Me and Gibson Jero. Oh, the party, you get money. The party suffering. We're trying to raise money. Then
When
you
they
come
say
here
anything
and
about you
say,
people not having money, when they say that,
elite and
Guys, please, let Mo
Lamik,
speak.
you have to understand that there are various categories and layers of fundraising. That's what we understand. That's what we do, and that's why we are effective at. And we are happy that Madam Cooper has brought in more impetus into this. So we raise funds at various categories and at various layers. And Remy, we don't need 20 million to win election. We need just 3 million. You need 30 million. You need 60 million. Because first you have to sell yourself. Nobody knows you. And you've been raising 30 million. You're selling yourself. You're not getting any reward. And Keleko Gonglo, I thought you were smart like Councilor Gonglo, but you are million miles away from the smartness of Councilor Gonglo. You should try to learn. Somebody
You cannot stop the man, bro.
We're not get into that. We said that in the chat room. Let's just speak on the issue, please.
JNB called senators and told them what he thinks. JNB does not control what the senators do in the Senate. We are frowned on our UP senators voting the way they did. Coming, for example, had no say in it. His party chairman voted for the loan. They've not issued a statement. They've not made a wall. We have sat, every UP person has sat on their show and condemned the UP senator. But JNB cannot control the way the senators vote. He can make recommendations to them. And that is where there is a clear delineation between the executive and the legislative branch of government. I thought Keleko Gonglo would have understood that. But it beats my imagination that he doesn't understand those little things and will be asking and will be saying it puts a question mark on his leadership. JMB play leadership by calling the senators and telling them the implications of voting for $65 million loan at this time. It was left with them to listen or not to listen. Pure and simple. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Cooper. Thank you for being part of the program tonight. We appreciate you. Like always, you are welcome. You don't need to call. You can just jump in anytime. We said, please.
Excellent.
We wish you well in your program tomorrow, though. We hope we can hear from Madam Yombikanga Lawrence, and the way forward, then we invite you guys back to tell the Liberian people. But thank you for joining us.
And Stanton, I do hope that your network will be there to report this live when the campaign team is announced tomorrow, so that the rest of the country can know who JMB has in his war chest and what he has in his war chest to win this upcoming election. So
you guys gonna pay for it?
No. Hold on 1 minute. Pay for what? They always pay for the program.
So
oh yeah, no,
yeah.
we happy to be. You know what? Look, even beside the fact that we are running a political campaign here, but this stanza has created something that's magnificent, and we all should be contributing. Not even though he doesn't ask, but we should be supporting this network, because this is the network for the people, and this is something that we all should be supporting. So we will pay for it.
Thank you.
No,
So
but the Stantons have been paying.
Thank you,
putting the
Madam
bill
Cooper.
on their packet. On their own, the Stantons have been putting the bill. So
Madam Cooper, sometime
should be helping.
Madam Cooper, we say thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you again. Have a wonderful evening.
I want to make a suggestion to you.
Yeah,
good night, gentlemen.
So we'll be starting with you, Councilor. 1 minute, let me lay this out, folks. Yeah, we're coming to you.
Something quickly. You just made an open invitation to Miss Cooper. Is that invitation also available to other political parties that they can have people just join me anytime? Then we can have someone to join me into the scene with. Yes, we have that open, right? Oh, very good. I like that. Like that. So
Thank you.
we have Ambola Mami to jump in anytime. I mean,
Anytime.
especially
I don't know whether she'll be having a technical issue, but she can join me anytime. I don't know whether she will have a technical issue, but she can join me. She can try.
Oh no, Ambola doesn't have technical issues.
You're
Okay.
going to manufacture a technical issue.
We want to say thanks to Madam Cooper for a wonderful evening conversation, folks. I'd like to push more now. Let's do this rapid fire for at least maybe 15 minutes or so, because we're about to wrap the show. Mo, I will start with you because it's about Unity Party tonight. And guys, Tewon Gonglo, Remy, you can talk to us about your program in Philadelphia. You are free to. Tewon Gonglo can talk to us about his upcoming program. And let's have this conversation. Mo, where are you when you find Gibson? And I'm not trying to put out energies, but Gibson is seriously attacking Jose Yima Boakai, his person, his character, and everything plus more. And I see the different in Councilor Lamine that try to be so moderate. Talk to us more. Where do you think this is coming from? Mo, can you hear us?
So firstly, I want to remind you about the videos I sent you, but I told you
if you want me to play it, I can play it. It's ready.
Gibson. Yeah, are you getting me?
Yeah, we get to you now. You want us
to play the video before you speak? Problem, boy. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want us to play the video before you speak?
You getting me right? You getting me right?
Yes, sir. Do you want us to play the video before you speak? Oh, Mo, we got a delay.
So let me respond to your question first.
Okay.
Let me speak first. Gibson Jeru is not a supporter. Now, one thing before you play the video is clear. It's a response to Remy Gray's question about whether CDC people are in the ANC.
So Mo actually
I know he was having technical issue because you guys were hearing the delay. There's a serious delay coming from his end. I hope he can log out and come back in. I know you guys are happy because Mo Ali internet just tripped. But go ahead, Councilor. Let's start with you though. Your takeaway from Magdala Cooper.
I mean, I was a lot disappointed that Madam Cooper had not, organized her reasons for supporting Mr. Boakai, especially after the first time she came on. And the basic issue was asked her why. She didn't have the answer for why, and today again she still didn't have the answer for why. The issue about having distinctions, our country has had this elitism problem for a very long time. And for me, I'm one of the people who do not enter anybody's back door. For me to enter through your back door, I should know you very well. If I don't know you, tell me, say, pass to the back, I'm not entering your house. I'm not going to do it. Because I know from whence we come. That legacy of slavery, where people are not good enough to come to your house or good enough to use your utensils. I mean, not everybody walking off the street will come to my house to come and sleep there. I mean, that's a very elementary way of putting it. But the bottom line is that you have to be able to treat everybody like an equal. That's what you have to do. And that's the reason why, when you have, kind of programs, it's better not to have it, kind of surroundings that you exclude all the common people. There are hundreds of thousands of people in the country who cannot even enter in the front gate of Farmington Hotel, let alone say go to a dinner where they charge you minimum, I think, $100. How many people can go to that place?
Can I come in? Becky, this is important. Even here in the United States. Yeah, I know. Hold on 1 minute more. Becky will come in. But let's set this thing now. Even here in the United States, anywhere, people have some high class program though.
Yeah, not
they have some high class. Let me finish, my brother. They have some high class fundraiser. You cannot exclude the fact that they are trying to raise money. Also, you cannot say because there's multiple people in Liberia so do not have your program. Is that what you are insinuating? Is that
I'm
what you're
not saying
saying,
do
that
not have
now
a
it's
program.
okay, don't
I'm
have
not
your
saying do
program
not have
because
a
there's
program.
multiple people?
Well, I'm not saying do not have a program, but for you to condescendingly say that you have the program separately for the common people, what will stop you from having one big program? The people who can come and pay $1,000 for a plate of food, whether that place you having a program can for common people to come there, and somebody wants to pay $1,000 for a plate of food, that's the person's business.
When you were
But
supporting,
you
when
have
you were
your
supporting Brunskin, when you were
boss.
supporting Brunskin, none of this
Uh-huh.
thing ever happened.
I didn't go to any of them. I don't know whether they had any
No,
other
no,
kind
no,
of
no,
food.
no. I'm asking you a question because we can go back in history.
I
When
don't
you were
know whether
supporting, when you were
you say
supporting Brunskin,
this way.
Counselor,
You say
did
it this way.
Brunskin have a program to raise funds?
In Liberia, I don't remember us ever having any fundraising program in Liberia. Whether they have, I know they have fundraising programs in America. However, they did it, I'm not sure. I was not there. But in Liberia, I don't remember any fundraising program being done in
Okay,
Liberia,
let's bring him more.
especially
Let's
where
bring him
you
more.
had
Yeah.
that kind of
So,
distinction.
so let me start off from where, and let me give a clear thing about this program. Tomorrow is Nyobli Kanga Lawrence's birthday. She's
Common
celebrating
people
her
have to do.
birthday at Farmington River. And because Nyobli Kanga Lawrence is now named the mother of the rescue team, she said, I will use my birthday to raise 100,000 United States dollars for pool washing because we need to start raising money for pool washing now. And this is why we are going to do it. So, like, I mean, this is not a program for everybody. It is Nyombli's program, and she decided to raise funds. And besides that, Captain, you can shake your head as much as you want. She's celebrating her program. And besides that, when we are having fundraising, if we have extended this to everybody, you people will be the same one sitting on the same program again. So say, oh, you're taking money from the poor people. You're doing
Oh,
this one. You're exploiting the poor people. I mean, I come in. This hypocrisy, you gotta
Let's hold on one at a time, please.
you gotta take the hypocrisy from you, from EU people. When we were doing the long campaign, we said we never have money. We had different layers of fundraising. We wrote people they contributed. We had dollar rally because there are people who can afford dollar. So we are doing our fundraising. We are having different layers of fundraising. So Senator Lawrence said, I'm raising this amount. Then you got issue with it. What issue do you have with it? Nothing. Now to your question, Stanton. Gibson Jeru, there is no real supporter of Councillor Gonglo, the respect we have for him, particularly us. Councillor Gonglo, we are all from the same background in the student community. We are supers, we are in the sub veteran community. The supporters of Councillor Gonglo will discuss issues and they will not go to attack the personality of anything in the condescending manner the way Gibson does. But Gibson, that is a character trait of a sedition. And Gibson has been a sedition for time immemorial. Gibson has always, in a condescending manner, spoken about Councillor Boakai. So this is not about whether he's discussing issues or not. Gibson has a personal problem, and that personal problem is Councillor, JMB is going to unseat his president, Josh Weah. And so he must fight Joseph Boakai, but he cannot do so wearing the overt CDC cap. So he must do so covertly to the good names of Councillor Gongo. That is the only issue. Gibson Jeru, when you go on voting day, he will vote for Josh Weah. He will not vote for Councillor Gongo. That is the man's problem. And I will keep bringing it up to him. He's not a Councillor Gongo supporter, he's a sedition. The people they can call shipping wolf clothing are one of them there. So I am not surprised in the least way that Gibson will come rather than to discuss issues and say, Joseph Boakai for 2,000 he can't afford. Come on, man. Now you paying a current bill? Now you giving him money to sponsor all the students he's sponsoring? Now you sponsoring a foundation? Now you sponsoring paying the workers on his farm. And not you. He hasn't begged you for money. And you should learn to respect the legacy of Councillor Gonglo, because Councillor Gonglo is there to plead for poor people. But when you come and denigrate people who are poor, you don't represent Councillor Gonglo. You represent a different class of person, and that class of person belongs to the CDC. Thank you.
Thank you, Mo Ali. Thank you very much. And Mo Ali, I hope you just not going to say all this thing and run though. We have to listen to the others. So I'm going to bring in Gibson. And this is part of your closing likewise, because we have to go.
Absolutely.
Gray, and then Councillor Lamy will be the last. So go ahead, Gibson.
Okay. First of all, Stanton, you asking a specific question about me. I'm not going to respond to that question. I'm not going to respond to Mo Ali because it's frivolous. It's very baseless. Call me sedition. It's very baseless. I'll spend my money on Councillor Gonglo campaign and be sedition. You don't have nothing to say. You're very baseless and frivolous. I'm not going to respond to that. I'm going to respond to the substantive issue. And Stanton, thank you for that question. Why is Gibson attacking Joseph Boakai? This is politics. We're not going to dance. This is the time to distinguish the candidates so the Liberian people can make a judgment. And Mo Ali, you talk about Councillor Gonglo, poor man lawyer. Yes. The reason we are talking about Joe Boakai inability to manage money or even get money, Councillor Gonglo, if he gets little money, he uses it. This is the only candidate. This is the only candidate who has traveled all 13 counties with the little money that he has and campaigning going to the villages. That's what we call management of money. You send money you send 10,000 to Lofa in your own mouth. You send 10,000 and mismanage it. You couldn't get pool watchers. He said Joseph Boakai got responsibility. Joseph Boakai able to manage anything. He able to take the decision. This is the man, and a signature issue, $64 million, a signature issue that he called his party lawmakers and said, don't do it. And then they flout his words, disrespecting his words, and then when they voted against his wishes, what kind of leadership he showed? He didn't show leadership. I'll tell you one more thing. Madam Cooper came here tonight to say nothing about Joe Boakai. She don't even know about Joe Boakai. She don't even believe in Joe Boakai because there's no reason she showed tonight to follow Joe Boakai. Okay? It's so ashamed. It's so unfortunate. She was becoming condescending. She was becoming insultive because of simple question. People got emotion, all of that. She's a female. We couldn't do that to her. If she was a male, we'll respond, but we can't do that to a woman. She ain't got nothing to support Joe Boakai. She got no reason because she followed popularity. The same popularity Stanton that George Weah came with, and the same popularity we're talking about here. We're talking about substance of the individual who is going to be in that White House. I mean, in our executive mansion. And let me say something about attacking Joseph Boakai. I don't attack Joseph Boakai, Stanton. You in America here, you know what presidential elections are. Mo Ali has studied American politics. He knows what presidential elections are. Every one of us here. The people critique the leaders until every little ounce of information is out. Okay? So when I say Joseph Boakai there for 2,000, it's just a political word, but to even send somebody or to even accept 2,005 from George Weah because you want to come to America to go to hospital, I would never have done it. I would never advise my political leader to do that because George Weah will use it against you. Now he did. He used it against him until to the point that Costa want to raise $2,000 to give it to George Weah. That money did not even reach to George Weah. It disappeared between Costa and Boakai. So look, when we come here, I see all of these UP party supporters. They cost me. They say, in fact, some people say I'm ugly, and I like that. They were ugly. The hard talk to. So unless Stanton, you want fun, you go to Stanton. I want to be fun. So I want to be fun. But here is a Stanton. First of all, what you've done by including some of us on this, It has brought substance, more substance. You had substance before, but it brought more substance. Because I'm not like Councillor Boakai. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a man who shoots straight shot. The people who don't want me to tell them that Joseph Boakai lives in debt, I will continue to say so. They may say he broke. The man who say he lived on loan. If I say that they disrespect the man, I mean, the person they put a court, they're not able to pay their party money. If I say they are causing man, I cause a man, I just telling the facts. So yes, we don't come here to praise Joseph Boakai. This first round, we will distinguish our candidate. And we are talking to the people who are undecided. If you are sitting out there tonight and listening to me, if you vote for Joseph Boakai, George will be president. Because look at the way they attack commies. They attack commies to the extent that they eviscerate him. And so no communist supporter will support Joseph Boakai to go to the polls. If you vote for Joseph Boakai, if you don't vote for Councillor Gonglo, you may just be president.
Let me ask you a question, though, and though we are close. Are you saying in the second round, if there is no Tewon Gonglo, there is no commies, you are calling on the commies vote not to support Joseph Boakai, but to support CDC?
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying,
be clear now. Be
because,
clear.
Stanton, let's look at the political way. Let's look at the political way.
Let me finish, my brother. I know you're doing your close.
Ask a question. Let me answer.
Go ahead, sir.
Let me answer. What I'm trying to say is the United people, they came here, they said, we want to attack Joseph Boakai, right? Right in front of yourself. The first two words that came from Madam Cooper mouth, he attacked commies. When Mo Ali came on, the first two words that came from him, he attacked commies. So we will not attack Joseph Boakai, but you will keep attacking commies. So you're encouraging the commies people to come and vote for you in the second round. So if you think it's good for you to attack commies, why we can't attack you too and bring your dirty beast outside? So they shouldn't be saying with disrespect Joseph Boakai, Stanton. They when they're doing it to commies and they are happy, they're calling him a failure. He will not win. He don't have the what it takes to win. They're saying all of that. We say the same thing to Joseph Boakai. They say you attack Joseph Boakai. You rude to Joseph Boakai. Oh, you're not rude to commies. So this is a game. So when they want for them to get commie support, they should stop eviscerating commies at any instant they have. They should, if they don't want for commies people to eviscerate Joseph Boakai, they should speak kindly of commies. Then Joseph Boakai and the commies people speak kindly of them. But they can't be eviscerating commies, telling him all kind of things. Then they say, we're not talking about Joseph Boakai.
I don't know which side you're on, though, but I'm I'm surprised. But let me bring in Ed Remy Gray. You guys have managed the Ed Remy Gray and Dr. Richardson. You guys have managed to come to some kind of understanding beyond closed door to only point the arrow to Joseph Boakai. I'm serious. That's what I'm saying. Ed, am I wrong, though?
No, you're wrong, man. Because
I have a question there.
The problem with Liberians, why we're not making it, is because most of us easy to give up in life. That's why even the education rate in Liberia, most people find going to school very, very difficult. And it's a challenge. It's because you think it's difficult. That's why most people don't even bother to do it. So the literacy rate in Liberia is way up there. But I can tell you that people like Cummings, it's a guy who does not take no for an answer. That is what is more vexing for most people, and especially people that find themselves in the Unity Party. I mean, Madam Cooper, I would say she would have had a brilliant future if only she had prevailed. But it's because she gave up, so therefore Cummings must give up and throw towel behind Ambassador Boakai. Cummings does not even consider himself to be a loser in this election. It is because of his level of success. This is why he continues to raise money, and he attracting so many people to his rally. When he's getting a crowd, people say they're bossing people in. Look, the fact about the matter is Liberian people will follow the crowd eventually. What happened in Bassa? Nobody trucked anybody in. Nobody bossed anybody in. You understand? People were just drawn to Councillor Charlene Bromskin. I just saw her. You understand? Charming woman. People want to see themselves too in somebody else. And then, but go back to the to ANC program in Nimba. It was well attended. And then we had the Bon County recently. You know, then before that, the Grebo people met in Montserrado and endorsed their son. Cummings is gaining traction. When he was not gaining traction, we knew it. We said it. We made that point. It is because people have seen a light at the end of the tunnel. That's why they're bringing their money big. I mean, I can tell you, the way the people are coming to ANC rally with money, if people are free-handed in Unity Party that way, they will not be having problem with paying their bills. You understand? Unity Party has been in power for too long, as one of the longest serving political organizations that can be this broke, where they evicting them from a particular structure they're in, even where they are right now. I mean, Modad probably was one of the persons, or even Yue. But since Yue left, Unity Party is struggling. How can you say this is the most popular candidate but can't raise money? That's why some of us find so troubling. And you know what? It's going to follow them to the letter when we get back to October. Unity Party is going to struggle with money issues because you know what? They don't believe in giving. They believe in coming to plunder from the state. That's their mentality of they should get but not to give. When people love their country, they give. The folks that are giving, the people that are giving Cummings money, they're not rich. But people just believe that they can draw the line. Look, this is for my country, so I can make that sacrifice. You know, the party people don't believe in that. They'll be raising 1,500. Even the Omer will say, you got to do better than that. Then they go to raise 2,000 when the Omer talk. So they added 500 there. I mean, sluggishly. I mean, let's face it. If this is the group that's supposed to be finding the well-being of Liberia, they will fail at it because you know what? That what happening to George Weah now? He doesn't know how to find money for the country. This is where Madam Salif is distinguished. And Cummings, a financial dude, if that guy can squeeze money out of people, he will find way for that country to get abundant wealth pouring in. We don't see that in Ambassador Boakai. The old man went to London. He was parking old chairs and buses on one small old truck. You understand? This is the kind of mentality we get. You have to appear at the table like you're an equal. At the Paris conference, when you go there, oh man, people want to see you like an equal.
It's good to have you. It's good to have you back for a very long time. Let me ask you a question. I know you to your program though. Is Musa at the program?
I can't divulge that information. Intelligent. Okay, I can't give you that.
That's intelligent. Thank you. Councillor, can you come in, Councillor? I will give my time to Mo to speak, and then we're gonna leave. Councillor, can you come in?
No way. We can't allow that.
No, that's my 2 minutes. That's my 2 minutes. I will give my time to Mo. You can stop me. We're not hearing you, Councillor. What's going on?
No, I said you should call. You hearing me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you should call Mr. Benedict and ask him whether he's there. Do not ask Gray. You know.
No, but you cannot say that. Gray is at the program. Gray is ANC CPP. I'm asking him. Why are you telling me not to ask him? He never took offense to that.
Him on the program, so you should call him again and try.
And then after I call him, he texts me later and say, "Why are you calling the man you tried to destroy?" So I didn't bother.
Okay, so on a more serious note, I mean, when I was coming in earlier on when the show was starting, I heard you calling me Mr. Councillor Policy. I mean, that's a name that I think I'm going to embrace. And I think
the man will take the name.
I'm going to embrace it because it's not a bad name, it's a good one. It basically shows that I'm somebody who really wants to talk about the actual issues. And like Gibson said, we are not on a platform to preach to the choir. No, absolutely. The people who can be insulting us when we ask hard questions, we are not here to talk to them. We are not here to discuss with them. We're here to talk to those people Not even the people who support us. We're not here to even talk to the people who support us, because if they're supporting us already, what's the use of you trying to convert them? No. We're talking to those people out there, the hundreds of thousands of people out there, the hundreds of thousands of hungry people out there that the UP decided to exclude from the program at the Plush Hotel. We're talking to them. They are the ones we are targeting. They are the ones who are going to decide who runs this country. Those hundreds of thousands of poor, hungry people that the UP doesn't want, that they don't want to enter in the front door. They want to pass in the back door on one football field on a 10.
You know that very bad thing you are saying, though. You bringing that racist thing in the country and that division in the country.
Doing. The buttercup thing, that the people who they can give the water to in buttercup, those are the people who we want. Because we do not have buttercup. We don't even have back door. Everybody that come to our own place, they got to enter through the front. And that's the way Liberia should be. We should speak for and speak to and intermingle with everybody on the basis of people being equals. We got to stop this issue of distinctions. Then we start justifying it by saying, oh, the other people here, some people won't pay more money. If the people won't pay more money, they can still come to the common people program and pay them more money there. There's nothing wrong with it. So even decide that you want to rescue people, but you got to carry your birthday party to a hotel that the common people can enter into, that tells you also that there is something smelly there that we should be careful with. The $65 million loan, I heard, I think Ms. Cooper or Umuali, one of them said that if they allow the CDC to get a loan, then they will use it to campaign. Is that the reason why we were telling the senators not to pass it? Was that the reason? Seriously, was that the reason why? And I hope when Mo come to use your time that you consider to him, I hope you will answer this question. Was that the reason why they called those senators to the former vice president's house to tell them, do not pass the loan, because if you pass it, the CDC will use it to campaign? If the CDC uses loan that they encumber the government for, that's a crime. Are they trying to say if by some accident they win the election, they will not go after the commission of that kind of crime? That's the reason why they're trying to stop them from committing the crime? I mean, that's a kind of laughable premise. It should not be because you think the CDC will use the money against you, so the loan should not be passed. It should be for fundamental reasons. You can look at the terms of the loan and say the terms of the loan bad, and the country should not be made to get involved in this kind of arrangement, because at the end of the day, it suffers the country. That would be a good reason why that loan should be rejected, as opposed to just saying, when they get the money, they will use it against us. No, we should move above the level of petty politicking. We should move above it. I agree with the policy decision where they said they will not confirm people who are appointed to tenure positions. I agree with that, because fundamentally, if you confirm those people now, they can put anybody there, and it affects you going forward. It affects your policies going forward. So let's try to make this discussion about policy. And yesterday I made a suggestion, and I hope, Senator, you will agree to do that. Let's call all the different presidential candidates. Let's grow them. Let's call them. Let's send out invitations to them, including Mr. Weir. Let's call them. Let's bring them on this platform. And let's subject them to the same treatment that we gave Mr. Morris yesterday, Mr. Morris, right? And my cousin, Madam Kroma. And the same treatment you guys have given Councilor Gonglo on numerous occasions. Let's call all of them. Let's call all the VP candidates also. Let's sharpen the distinctions between and amongst these people. That's what we should be doing. Because those tens of thousands of people out there who have not decided yet who they're voting for, they are key to the future of this country, because their future and our future are all tied in one basket. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Mo Adi will take us home, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Mo, you got
Can I share 1 minute? Can I share your 1 minute with him?
No.
10 before,
No.
10 before we go, can you play that video with the mayor from Sakete?
Okay, let's go to Dama.
All right,
can you play the
Stanton.
video?
So I will start up with the loan thing. Councilor Kagwai was
What is happening?
Yeah, man. I played this video.
What is happening?
You know what happening to you? Eh?
Not to me, but to the
You're not fair to the process.
Before you get ready.
Why?
This brother who killed the Compost ability in the district.
So can I be
He's
talking
now a
quickly?
typical politician. He's an administrator.
Hello?
There's a regime collaborator. There's a man who have seen me.
Regime collaborator?
Yeah, he collaborating with us now.
Regime collaborator?
Yeah.
Are you saying Honorability is a regime collaborator?
Yes.
So whatever he's doing, the president is a...
Who's that guy? Can you talk to us, Mo? Why is he saying that, Mo Ali?
So that guy is the mayor of Sakipie, and he also happens to be one of the top persons of the CDC in Nima County, particularly in that district. I just wanted to play that video to disprove what Remy Gray said. Musa is actually a sedition in their midst. Now, I will start off with Councillor Kpagoe. Councillor Kpagoe, you were on the show last night when I explained the reasons why JMB asked the senators not to vote for the loan. Number one, Liberia has already become a debt-burdened country, and that most of the debt under the CDC regime, we haven't seen the benefits to the country. And you having a government coming in, you taking debt, you taking a loan with no clearly defined purpose other than to say to build policy institution. And in fact, today, the person who is responsible for salary at the Ministry of Finance, Del Francis Rare posted that the loan they took is in fact not for other purpose. He said the loan they took is to pay salaries. That's not a reason, because this government have boasted of collecting more revenue than any other government. So it is not about CDC will take loan. In fact, let me read a quote. So Senator Dillon and members of the opposition in the Senate refused to endorse the 65 million financing agreement intended to provide cash for salary payment for civil servants. So how do they want to rescue and face Liberia? It makes no sense. It was not because CDC will take a loan to, of course, when you take a loan, you finance your campaign. Like we said over and over, we will audit. Now, let me come to this. You know, in Cape Mount, let me you from Cape Mount, there is a parable there that says a tree that does not have fruit, you don't see people chunking rock in it. These elections, somebody said, should they be just about Joseph Boakai? These elections are about Joseph Boakai first and Josh Weah second. The others are spectators and participants. Joseph Boakai will win this election on the first ballot. Cummings is a participant because he wants to be known into Liberian politics. For somebody to say, we are very proud as Unity Party, whenever people say you were there 12 years and you broke, we are proud. You know what that goes to speak? It tells you that the Unity Party did not enrich herself with state resources. But the people who are making these statements, Liberian people, you all listen. Whenever they say Unity Party was there 12 years and they can't pay their rent, what they are saying is that when we go there, we will use the state to enrich our political parties. We will use state resources to build our party headquarters. That's what Remy Gray and Gibson Jeru are consistently telling the Liberian people. We are proud of our record of being a poor political institution because we do not loot state resources to enrich ourselves. Remy Gray, you're not paying the Unity Party rent. I keep hearing you saying.
So, Senator, let me ask you why you can finish that clip, because that guy's an MDR guy, the guy who just spoke, and is with
I don't have Remy. I do not have the full.
I have the whole
if
thing.
you have it, Send it. We'll play it. Ed.
No, Musa was
I
being
don't have it.
was
Ed.
doing goodness
Can you
to.
send it? Ed, can you send it? Let give Mo
Yeah,
the chance
Remy,
to
send
play.
the
Yeah, that's
video.
an MDR guy.
Yeah, but send it to me and we'll play it. I don't have the full clips. Please.
Yeah, I mean,
Send the video.
that's the reason why you cut it short.
Don't be interrupting me. Send the video.
No, but
Remy,
I don't know why you're speaking twice for. You are done almost.
But and I hear you my time.
No, but sometimes it's unfair. Then we have to respond.
No, you're not responding. I'm
No, we
taking
have to respond. You have to, because you play.
That's on you advantage.
You played a short clip to the start. Yeah, that's a syndicate. This is some of the reason why people can get angry. They gave you chance. I mean, you coming to slap us and leave.
Yeah.
No. We have to disturb you, man. No, we have to heckle you until no, this is the end, my brother. The thing about you're not gonna work with me. No, sir. You gave us an MDR guy, man. Come on, man.
I'm using time now.
Nah, my brother. Let me show you, man. It was a nice show. Actually, I enjoyed the show tonight. Yeah. Gentlemen, once I have some time, I will always appear. Once I have some time, I will always appear.
I'm using your own statement.
Yeah, this is not fair.
So, like I was saying, you go about saying,
no, Moali.
You
Save that one for the next show. Save that one for the next show. This is not fair. Yeah, because you can't kind of beat us and then leave.
Guys.
Then the show ends.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
More, let's finish up. More, they got that file protest. More, they got that
filing protest.
I beg you, they're filing protest. I beg you, let it go.
I agree with you.
Dama, come on the show, Dama. Let's wrap this thing up. Mo, I beg you, they got to fly in protest. Let it go. I beg you, you too strong for them. You too strong for them. Let it go, Mo.
But they now make exception. You get extra time.
Counselor, can you tell Dama to come on? Let's wrap this thing, please. Thank you very much. We want to say thanks to all of our men and followers. Will be here. And folks, let me say this though. Again, we'll be coming through with Jose Yuma Boakai sometime next week. We'll have a very, very big program coming up. We'll be hosting the Honorable Jose Yuma Boakai next week. But we want to say thanks to everyone. Councillor, thank you very much. Gibson, thank you. Remy, it's good to see you back. And let's have a wonderful show on Monday. God bless you. Be safe.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia.
Okay, folks, another great edition of the program, Spoon Talk, right here. We're coming to you live from the Spoon House in Congo Town. We've been live on Spoon 107.5 FM, Fabric 101.1 FM, and Super FM 95.5. We've also been live on Spoon TV Live on Facebook, Fiber TV Live on Facebook, and Super TV Live on Facebook as well. Well, folks, the team gonna be back here Monday, which is gonna be the 10th of July. They're gonna be back with another great one of the program Spoon Talk right there. But until then, my name is Prince Hammond, alias DJ Magic Fingers. This is how I would like to wrap it up right here. Thanks you guys for listening and watching. Have yourself a wonderful, God bless, now from my end. Bye bye.